Test, test, test. Test, test, test. What's going on, chat? Hello. Oh, yellow.
Hello. Hey, I do want to say I did vote for Harris. I'm not a Trump supporter, but I do want to say this. Trump freaking sucks. Not gonna lie.
Hey, you don't got to curse, dude.
Oh no, I ain't cussing.
I'm just kidding.
I ain't cuss. Nah, because I was like, I didn't even cuss. But if anybody who wants to say here and say that your prices have gone down, I know they're for sure lying. Because I just seen Sheen cart, all the Sheen stuff. They have gone higher on prices. I thought that used to be the cheap place.
Get a few more weeks. Get a few more weeks. It'll get more expensive. We'll have empty shelves.
Sure, I say you should explain next time I say a Republican comes up here, explain to them how when one Democrat person had mentioned saying, will they deport kids with cancer that was born in U.S. and none of them raised their hands saying saying they wouldn't do it. None of
I
them. Once.
I agree. I agree. There's no low too low for them right now.
Oh yeah, there's definitely not a. This is a delusional time we live in now.
I agree. I agree. Well, hey, I appreciate you, Young.
Yeah, no problem. Someone kick me for $40. Do
I
it.
got.
Do it 40.
I got you. I got you. I got you. MAGA equals patriots. I mean, if patriot means being a patriot, like someone whose allegiance is to the president and not the Constitution, then sure, MAGAs are patriot. But MAGAs definitely do not believe in the Constitution. They are not patriots of the country as we knew it 8 years ago. What up, chat? How we doing? What's up, Doug? What's up, Jason? Hello, y'alls. Hello, Kelly. Hello, X Meat. Hello, y'all. Where'd you get your shirts? Made in China, 1999, Amazon. Let's go, chat. Let's go. Made in China, chat. No big deal. Good morning, Lori. Good morning, y'all. Chat, tap the screen. Let's get a few likes on the page. Do I need to do an outfit check? I think I might do a fit check for y'all guys. You want to see a fit check? Here. What do you think, chat? Rate my outfit 1 to 10. 15. 20. Damn. Damn, chat. Thought you were gonna play music. I probably need to get that ready. I'll have some music queued up next time I do a fit check. Didn't have to flex on us like that. I apologize, guys. I apologize. It's selfish. Trump for Pope. Oh my god, bro. Solid 8. I'll take that. Thank you. How we doing, guys? Dude, I hope you're joking, official. The Trump for Pope is wild. Fucking wild. We have a sitting president that posted an AI picture of himself as Pope. Tacky. What is he like? What is he, 15? Trump's approval rating's 36? I thought it was 44. It's 44 today? I mean, 36 today? He's not eligible under numerous rules. Duh. Do I have an orange sweater on? No, this is short sleeve, guys. Short sleeve. What do you think, guys? Try to show a little more beefcake? Chat, tap the screen. If you're a Trump supporter and you want to debate, hop in the box. Come tell me why you like Trump. Did I learn a lesson not to trust the polls? I don't know if that's a thing. I think like polls are indicative of like patterns. They're not perfect, but we don't follow the same mantra that y'all do. Like if they're mean towards Trump, that everything they say from that day forward is a complete lie and they're against them and they're sinister. That's where you guys are at. We're more in reality where it's like, all right, a poll said that probably hints towards the truth. I can see how people may disapprove of Trump ruining their business and their farm. I can see that being true. It's not that outlandish. The poll said Harris would win, and you believe that. She lost by 1.7%. What does that mean? And there were very few polls that had her just way ahead. They were literally all neck and neck. Every poll that I looked at. So I don't know what that means, bro. That feels like a cope from you, Texas Patriot. Feels like you're coping. Didn't see the shoes. I'm just wearing plain black Vans. Trump will crash out. Yeah, we've already got the first person that he's had to fire. It's been 100 days from his administration. It's beautiful. We already have Musk on his way out. That's beautiful. I called it. I guessed that Musk would have been out by November, but it's a little sooner than that. Yeah, Trump does not play well with others in his administration or on the world stage. And I don't know what world MAGA thought he was going to be a diplomat or a good leader. Tesla's looking to replace Elon. I've heard two sides to that. I've heard that they are and they aren't. I can believe it though. My Amazon Fresh order is being worked on, guys. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Did I listen to Green's impeachment plans yesterday? Al Green's? No. I didn't get any avocados. Did I ever get those shirts? They are stateside now. For those wondering about the shirts that I ordered that are from China, they actually made it here. So what I think happened is they were stuck in Hong Kong for a while, and then they moved them like inland, like mainland, and then shipped them out from a different port. They were sitting there for a minute though. I did eat sashimi last night, and it was fucking delicious. I don't buy Chinese shirts. I highly doubt you have anything but Chinese shirts. What's up, dude?
Pussy.
I'm a pussy?
Yeah.
Hey, you don't say that.
Pussy.
Are you here to tell me why you like Trump?
Pussy.
Ow, my feelings. I'm gonna go tweet about it 30 times in a row. Just kidding. I'm not Trump. See what I did there, chat? Why am I wearing my grandma's shirt? She let me borrow it, bro. You're lucky you're an American, or else I wouldn't be so nice. I have a master's in cybersecurity. Sure. Sure. Is that Ms. Pickles behind me? That is. you guys want to flex, the person sitting behind me has won a worldwide hackathon and has a certificate signed by the leader of Dubai. So you're lucky. How about that? How about that? The shirt's off the rack from Goodwill. That's a compliment, David. Thrifting the next 4 years, fuck Trump's economy. Chat, if you're Trump supporting and want to debate, hop in the box. Tell the lady in the back I said what's up. For sure, for sure, for sure. Same color as your car? Guys, I did a fit check earlier. I look dapper, all right? Anybody who says otherwise, lying to themselves. You need to be honest with yourself and others. That's the first thing you learn in therapy, all right? MAGA wouldn't know that. Is she my mod? No, she's not my mod. Crapper? Bro. How we doing, guys? How we doing? Happy Saturday? Happy Saturday? Do we have the same political views? Yeah. Oh, yeah. MAGAs can't afford us. Nobody's going to be able to afford my style with Trump in office. These are $19. This shirt's 19 bucks from China, guys. But with Trump as president, it's probably going to be like 50. DNC paid for. I wish. I wish. How many dudes do I take a day? I fucking all of them, dude. All of them. I get it. It's funny because you're homophobic. And that's funny to MAGA. Maybe he meant guest. No. 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 DNC bought and paid for. Yeah. I wish, dude, if the DNC offered me money to spout my beliefs like I already do, I would take it. And then some. Amazon probiotics last month $19.99. This month $24.99. Damn tariffs. Trump's taking us down. I wouldn't admit that. You guys somehow think it's evil for people to like pay to spread to try to have a bigger microphone for the political ideology. I think it's silly to think that that doesn't happen. Trump literally endorses dozens of people in Congress. You guys don't care about that. We have literal people on YouTube that have hundreds of thousands of followers that were paid by Russia to say things, but you don't care about that. But the second the DNC, meaning like regular people like me and everybody in chat, spending money to support the DNC, and then they in turn come and support me, that's somehow bad. That's stupid. That's very stupid to condemn. It's very short-sighted. We don't like liberals. Yeah, Fox News is literally Rupert Murdoch pushing his agenda, his political agenda. It's evil to spread propaganda. People, exactly. Trump is the devil. Dig the shirt. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. MAGA is the professionals of double standards. I agree. Fox News is nothing but controlled opposition. Fox News is literally Rupert Murdoch and a bunch of conservative pundits pushing their agenda born out of the Obama administration. Even Murdoch is suing the current administration over tariffs. I love that. Fox News is the only real news. Are you kidding me? The people who've been sued for almost $1 billion for like blatantly lying about our democratic elections. Chat, I'm sick of it. There's too many people chirping in the comments. If you're a Trump supporter and you want to debate, hop in the box. Come tell me why you like Trump. I'm an easy target. I'm a soy boy with my grandma's shirt on. Come humor me. Yeah, I agree. They're not real news. That's grandpa's shirt, not grandma's. It's whatevs. It's whatevs. Sorry, there is no debate. I mean, there really isn't. But it is entertaining to watch MAGA try to defend the Trump administration. It's hilarious. No matter how intelligent you might be, you're still an absolute cuck for somebody who's robbing this country blind. And you're justifying it somehow. Trump is helping the stock market. He can't figure out if he's coming or going. I thought if the stock market's doing anything good right now, apparently it's Biden's stock market, right? He just said that on True Social. Like I can't figure out what his position is right now. Is he purposely tanking the stock market to refinance our debt? Is he doing it because it's overinflated, or is it Biden's fault now? Or which one is it, guys? Has he gotten his story straight yet? Have you figured out which one it is? He's doing beautifully right now. We have multiple retailers coming out and saying we're going to have bare shelves likened to COVID pandemic here in a few weeks, thanks to Trump. Something that was artificially done, like done to ourselves, self-inflicted, not done from environmental reasons, not done from a pandemic, literally because Trump, he and only him, thought that tariffs were a good idea. Not checked by anybody else, not made by Congress, not voted on by the people. Trump, the man who thinks that foreign countries pay tariffs, the man who thinks that that tariffs are a tax on the foreign country, is the one who's ruining the economy. Remember when baby formula wasn't on shelves? Yeah, remember when Biden tried to fix that? And then Republicans struck him down and tried to stop him because they wanted to further exasperate the problem? Remember that? How sickening is that? I voted for tariffs. The word tariffs like mentioned once in Agenda 47. And it's not clear how big or who he was tariffing. It turns out he's tariffing the whole world. Yeah, there's going to be nothing on the shelf soon. I had somebody denying the fact that that was the case yesterday or the day before. They're like, that's just a sales tactic. They're trying to fearmonger you guys into coming and buying like a surge of purchases. The biggest cope I've heard this week. Yeah, and has anybody checked on those penguins that Trump tariffed? Trump will win again in 2028. Someone just said that on YouTube chat. Somebody is for Trump and not for the country or the Constitution. That's who we're dealing with now. People who are not patriots, but claim to be patriots. They want a king, not a president. It's very sad. I guess it's kind of intoxicating seeing somebody making liberals miserable. I guess when you see it that way and you're not acknowledging the fact that he's also fucking up both sides equally, economically, socially, financially, like it's hilarious to see that they're so blind to their own demise. Elon 2028. Guys, in 3 months you're going to be like, "Oh, everybody always hated Elon. He's so bad. He's so dumb." Yellow.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
I am.
What do you like
Even though
about
right
Trump?
now I'm not particularly fond of some of the things he's doing, but yeah, I voted for Trump, I'll say.
What do you like about Trump?
I don't necessarily dislike or like anything about Trump. I just, when it comes down to certain reasons as to why I voted for Trump, and that's what I was going to say. And I feel like a lot of people voted for Trump for the same reasons. It's not so much the Democrat policies or what we have such a problem with, because I myself don't. I actually like some of the ideas that the Democrats present policy-wise, but in reference to the groups that align themselves and that would gain more of a foothold and more recognition that align with the Democrat Party, I have a problem with that. So specifically, like when I specifically refer to a group, I refer to pro-choicers, because I don't agree with pro-choice. And people say, well, you're a man. Well, I am a father. And I think to myself, if my wife looked at me and said, I'm getting rid of our child, I don't want it, I would have no say. And I basically have to turn into a robot, emotionally speaking, in order to process and deal with the loss of my kid. So I don't support that at all. And I feel like it's like, I honestly find it evil.
So you think that forcing a woman to carry out a pregnancy for 9 months against her will is not evil?
No. What I'm saying is if you choose to get pregnant, if you have an elective abortion, simply terminating a human life for convenience of your life, then that is a selfish action in and of itself, and it shows a total disregard for human life as a whole, in my opinion, because you can't value life at times. It has to be valued at all times. So therefore, it shows something that I consider to be evil.
I don't think that's a real rule. I think you can't just say that and invoke that without reasoning. And I also think that what you're doing is you're asking people to do things against their consent. Like, just because I invite someone in my home doesn't mean I consent for them to be there for 9 months and for them to do whatever the fuck they want to, just because I said yes once.
So you can unalive them?
Yeah,
So
if they don't leave, like if somebody comes into your house uninvited, would you would you do something again? Would you take them out by force?
If someone was holding a pew pew to my head and about to take my life, then yeah. But if they're not, then I'm not going to sit there
So
and use some
you
type
would
of
wait for
lethal
them.
force. Hold on, wait. You asked me a question. Let me answer you. But I'm not going to use lethal force in order to remove them. That's where it becomes a difference, and that's what you advocate for when you support that.
There's entire states that advocate for that. So like unarmed people can be unalived in your home,
I don't
and it
care. I'm
be
talking about human
self-defense.
beings. I'm
We
not talking
justify
about
that
state.
all day, and you don't have problems with that, but you have problems with.
Yes, I do. I do have a problem with that. If someone is on, yes, you're asking me that's not directly related to what I'm talking about.
I think
I'm
self-defense
talking
is
about
directly related to this. Yeah.
a child is simply sitting there in the womb when you chose to consent to an action that led to it, and when there's no direct health risk to your life while that child is in there, and it's simply a thing because you don't want to deal with it, whether when it's based off financials, whether it's based off of your current lifestyle, and that is your reasoning to remove and terminate that human life, then I have a problem with that, and I will not support
Yeah.
a group that tries to give that group more of a
I
platform.
I think that's obviously like something you should hold private, and you shouldn't legislate women to do. Like if you want to trap
Protecting
somebody
human
into a
life.
situation where they have to carry out a 9-month pregnancy because you put your seed inside of them, that's all you, bud. But you shouldn't
Why is it
legislate that
always
into
on the
law.
man? Why is it just a man put his seed there? Where is the a woman's accountability to the choices they make that lead to these things?
Yeah. What
Because
if
it's
they're
always a
graped?
scapegoat. Then they deserve it. They should have an AB. They should. If there's that type of thing that happens to them where consent is not taken into accountability when that act happens and it causes a
Okay.
pregnancy, absolutely. But if it's
Okay.
something to where there's, go ahead.
Okay. Well, there were 60,000 people that were graped and got pregnant last year. What about them? They were all in
Then they
red
should all be
states.
allowed. They should all be allowed to an
So
elective
you
AB.
so you think that? Oh man, someone already paid. Somebody listen. I think people should have ongoing consent, whether or not they should have to carry something to term. So, like at every given second, say if somebody you're having sexy time with is gonna say no, you can't be like, listen, you already said yes 5 minutes ago, therefore I get to finish. That's what this is giving, and I'm
You
gonna have
know
to
that
kick
that's
you.
not the same.
It is literally exactly the same. You're using somebody's body and their resources against their will at any given moment is disgusting, and you shouldn't legislate that. And thank you, Lainey, for the $40 to kick. Um, it's literally exactly the same. Chat, if you're a Trump supporter, hop in the box, come and tell me why you like Trump. I am sorry, guys. We'll please no fucking pro-life stances. Literally, if you're willing to die on the hill of pro-life at the expense of like all of our economic well-being, and leading us into a dictatorship and authoritarianism, just because you're pro-life, just because you're a superstitious, weird, misogynistic weirdo, um, that's on you. I think there's way more to politics than having your feelings about what women owe you. What's up, Alex?
Yo, what's up, man? Got a question for you.
Okay.
Do you know what the total trade deficit the United States has with the world?
No, what is it?
It's like 918 billion.
And can you tell me
Hang on.
what would it
I got one
take
more
for
question.
us to reverse that? Why is it bad, and what would it take for us to reverse that besides like making the dollar and like dive into the ground and devaluing it?
No, I got one more question. What's China's total trade deficit with the world?
I'm gonna assume they have a trade surplus with the world.
Of 1.2 trillion dollars. So we have a.
Can you tell me why that's bad again?
Yeah, sure thing. So we have an international deficit that the basically the proceeds of your labor. We have 1 trillion avenues out of America. That's real. It's a real thing, which basically makes your population, work to make other people wealthy, which is fine to an extent. Like
Yeah,
if
we're consumers. Yeah.
yeah, so exactly. So it's
That's like
If
I've
you,
heard this explained a million times. That's like me going around running up a credit card debt at a bunch of stores and then crying that they didn't buy anything back for me. I think it's stupid and incoherent.
well, I mean, you have to look at the side effects, right? So, I mean, I'm all for cheap shit, sure. Like, people love cheap things. I understand. A lot of people like to buy shit on Sheen for $4. Like, I get it, bro. Like, but the point is, that's not first off good for the environment. It's not good to have
Don't even start with that.
overconsumption. It doesn't have this like to have this overconsumption of goods, cheap goods and services, is not good for the environment. It's just
It's
that's just
it's
it's just
great. It's great for efficiency. Like it literally
so,
the reason a lot of us are living the standard of living we're living right now, and the reason that companies are as efficient, or our economy is as efficient as it is because we can buy goods from markets that make them cheap and allow us to have social and economic mobility upwards
yeah,
very
yeah.
fast, very easily. Like I just bought a $40 Game Boy from China that has like 20,000 games on it, yada yada yada. A couple like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that would have been like $300. Now imagine if that were something that I used as a company to make money. Imagine me only paying $30 for something that would cost $300 10 years ago, and being able to utilize that tool to make money. Like say it's not a gaming device or whatever. That's literally the case for almost every industry in the United States. And what you're asking for is to sabotage that and put tariffs in between
No,
industries and businesses and the goods they sell or the goods they use to make sales.
no. So again, if you, do you think that there's actually a way to have, unlimited benefits at the and there's no detrimental effects on the economy due to have your, perfect way of, having cheap goods? Like, do you think there's actually no detriment to the United States to have that existing? Do you think there's
It's not
no?
inherently bad, no.
Well, then explain how we have, the money supply, go up, and essentially even if you account for every dollar, it doesn't go to the just the wealthy. Yes, the wealthy have gotten rich because you have a bunch of people basically circumventing U.S. labor. So of course you're going to have more money. People are going to be wealthier. That's
Not
just a
just
side effect. So if you're basically saying that it's no detrimental effect, how do you explain the fact that people are not living as well? Although they do have cheaper products, they're not living as well as your grandparents could have.
the reason there's such a wealth gap is because of the tax systems in place starting with the Reagan administration and then Bush Jr. and then Trump. That's why. That's it.
So Reagan lowering taxes is the reason why there's a wealth gap. It has nothing to do with cutting
Yeah.
out the American labor force and getting rid of social classes in
No,
America.
that's free trade. If you guys want to talk about somebody to blame for unfettered capitalism and free trade, that's Republicans as well. Yeah.
No. So it was with Bill Clinton. He signed NAFTA. That was basically the beginning domino of globalization, and to the extent of what we have it now. So
Uh,
that was that
NAFTA,
was
our relationship with
the daddy.
China and everything else did not create the wealth gap. That literally has given us, me, the ability to buy $19 shirts from China that this would usually probably cost like $70 or maybe even more. And even if it were to be just $70, we'd still be getting these textiles from China. Like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. And it's silly for you guys to try to think of a way to demonize China and back Trump's agenda versus just like literally thinking about this objectively and how to fix it. You're literally, I can tell your line of thought is, how do we justify Trump's actions when
No,
all
so
we have to do is just literally think about how do we make this better? How do we change the dynamic between us and China? And it's not with fucking tariffs. It's the dumbest idea. Nobody's made sense of it. Everybody has 7 different versions of how this is going to work. None of them lead to being fixed at all.
it absolutely does. It absolutely does. And I could say the same thing to you. You're basically trying to find any way to demonize what the plans are and basically saying that there's no way that it works, but you actually don't know if it'll work. Now, I am in part of the people that are actually in reality who understand that yes, this can lead to stagflation globally, and then we're going to be, in a worse position than we were. But the point is, doing nothing is also it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like, so
No,
yes, you
having
can.
a coherent plan in place is way better than causing stagflation, my friend.
What is the coherent plan, and when who would have allowed it to happen? Because if you literally don't do it this way, every single person that you're trying to when you think about who owns your favorite politicians, like, do you think they've actually would have allowed this to happen? It took somebody who basically said, like, fuck all these people, fuck these boards of these Fortune 500 companies, fuck all the billionaires who are basically, happy to do business in China to
And
circumvent
fuck
the US.
the lower middle class too. Don't forget that.
No, no. Well, no. So absolutely
Yeah,
not. That's the
absolutely.
point.
These tariffs are a huge tax on consumers. That is me, and that's you. And our taxes, just
Brother.
because they're not on a fucking tax line on our income tax, doesn't mean we're not paying them as taxes. These are huge taxes on you and I, and they're putting huge roadblocks in the way for us to live our lives at the standard of living we did 3 months ago.
Let me ask the question though that I had. Who else would have done it? Because your favorite politicians that you know
Nobody
try
with
to,
a brain would have done it.
that you
Because
try to
it's
prop
dumb.
up. It's not dumb to basically say we can't continue. So everybody has discussed on the left prior to Trump even existing how tariffs would be necessary to basically get China to play ball in the way that they're not circumventing the U.S. Labor force, that they're not circumventing
Carefully,
IP, global
surgically
IP.
implemented tariffs, not huge blanket tariffs, and starting an outright trade war with a country who literally can control our well-being.
So who would have done it? So why
Nobody
hasn't
would have
anyone
done
done it?
something as stupid as Trump done. What do you mean who would have done it?
Why that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you, bro.
It's
Like,
very
nobody.
dumb and incoherent what he did. What's the plan?
I get it. You're
Okay,
like,
he's got these huge tariffs on China. Now what? Do you think people are going to start building businesses here? We have a huge decline in
Absolutely.
manufacturing jobs right now. We have shelves about to be barren here in a few weeks. We're going to see stagflation, like you mentioned. What's the plan again? We're gonna start rebuilding and industrializing the middle of a fucking recession.
So Pickles. So the question to you is, how did China do it? How do they have a trade surplus of 1.2 trillion dollars? You think that
Because
think
they
that
did a
what
lot of
they've done-
manipulation with their economy.
you think that what they've done is impossible for anyone else to do?
We would have had to start 15 years ago.
No, sir. No. This is the thing that you are failing
sir.
to answer. What is the alternative? What was the alternative? Continue status quo politics
Yes.
where nothing gets done,
Yes.
and everybody's literally heading towards
You're acting
oblivion.
like Trump's actions are the only option, and that is silly as fuck. Obviously, we could have done things like subsidize some manufacturing jobs, subsidize some industries that we want, kind of like what Biden did with the Chips and
You
Science
just
Act.
said more debt 2 times.
No, Trump is literally making us go into a recession and creating more debt than any president in fucking history. What are you talking about? Trump he's raised the debt ceiling $4.5 trillion. This is by far way cheaper than that. And it wouldn't have caused a recession. You dum-dum.
How do you know it's causing a recession?
We
You don't
have
know.
it. We have projections. We have all of the world's best economists coming together, being like, "Hey, bro, this is real bad."
The Atlanta
And then you
Fed
guys are
meeting?
going, "Oh, these are just projections."
Like the Atlanta Fed.
Yes.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like you're looking at this from a glass half empty point of view, and I get it because your job is to have literally pretend that you have TDS for money. Like I
I'm not
understand.
pretending anything. These are my
Like,
legitimate
I
concerns.
understand.
This
But
is my
you're ignoring-
this is my genuine opinion. 100%. Nobody's paying me anything besides the people that you see in the comments. Those are my only customers.
Right. So again, how do you reverse us losing $1 trillion annually by watching China make 1.2? And it's just not China, and then it's not this trade deficit by itself, right? As a whole, I mean, in its individual state, a trade deficit is
I
perfectly
just told
fine.
you what the alternative is. We'll never not have a trade deficit because we're the richest country on earth, and our dollar's worth more than everybody else's currency. So we get to go buy things a lot more than they get to go buy things. That will never change. We also have a huge population. How the fuck do you think a country of 40 million people is not going to have a trade deficit with the United States, a country of 350 million people? It's an incoherent standard. It's dumb complaint. it means nothing to me.
So what you just basically said is the population has anything to do with. Do you understand that they have a billion extra people and they don't have a trade deficit with one? Well, they don't have a trade deficit. They have a trade
Yes.
surplus with the entire world.
Yes.
What
If
you
you want to
just
start,
said- what
if you
just
want to start,
said is something
if
favorite
you
narrative, but
if you want to
it's
start doing
wrong.
the things that China did to get to where they're at, this is what we'd have to do. We're gonna start nationalizing companies. You guys are vehemently against that.
That's not
We're gonna
true.
have to start. We're gonna have to start devaluing our currency. That is a fucking
true.
horrible idea. And we're gonna have to start lowering minimum wage. Do you want to start? Do you want the government to start paying for all of our housing too? You want that? Do you want to start
That's not
children
true.
to start, like, you want some children to start working? I know you guys are relaxing child
That's
labor
true. You
laws
don't
in
have
red
to adopt
states.
You don't have to adopt every single.
These are the cornerstones of what they have, bro. What do you think? Do you think they just outsmarted us? They industrialized tens and tens of years ago, way before us.
The IP. They stole the IP. They
Okay,
allowed.
Okay,
we allowed
it doesn't matter how they did it. The fact is, these tariffs aren't going to stop it. These tariffs are not going to make us industrialize. It's going to put us into recession.
No, I doubt that. There's still, high
Why-
unemployment amongst minority teens. All these inner cities are literally suffering. We have so many people addicted to schmugs. We have people unaliving themselves.
How does this make tariffs a better
at a
situation?
highest rate? The highest levels of disenfranchised youth and young men is right now. Like, we have the highest levels of depression among men in the entire world.
Name a thing that Republicans are doing to fix any of that. Go ahead.
Trying to pretend that we don't need social classes and we don't need that mid-level manufacturing job in America.
Name a thing that Trump is doing to fix any of that. He just defunded mental health funding for federally by the tunes of
because
billions.
that shit goes straight to NGOs and fucking nonprofits. It's just a grift. This is
It's not a
actually
grift.
getting people back to work, getting them off of Social Security, and
We have
fucking
low unemployment.
food
What do you mean
stamps.
getting them back to work?
Getting people off of food stamps and getting them into jobs where they can have some sense of
Taking away social
value.
safety nets and having
Good
poverty
work.
plunge even lower for some people, that's good shit. Good shit.
No, it's not. It's not that. That's the way that you see it. But again, I'm from a poor neighborhood where I saw it happen many times.
Me too.
To many people. You basically just have people addicted to social welfare that doesn't incentivize you to do anything with your life. That is fucked up.
If you actually believe that, we need to go ahead and cut off all of those red states that can't balance their budget at the end of the year. We need to go ahead and do that right now.
Absolutely. Yes, maybe they could get a little bit more industrious and begin to grow and begin to create some
That's
products.
literally all of them besides two.
It doesn't. But the point is, it doesn't.
And you're going to come in, and Republicans are going to come in and tell us how to run the economy.
I don't disagree. But yes, if you look at the alternative, the other extreme, I could point out California, their high taxation and how they're still broke. They have $8 gas and they're still broke.
They're not broke.
They're absolutely fucking broke.
No, they have an $80 billion deficit, but they pay hundreds of billions of dollars in the federal government to keep your red states afloat. But they're a $3.7 trillion economy, and they could literally pay off that deficit in a heartbeat. It's the most incoherent thing I've ever heard.
It's not because people and you bring up California like it's some fucking shining.
It is.
Beacon
It's
of
the
hope.
shrine
It's not.
of the U.S. economy. It's the temple of the U.S. economy. It is literally the best state doing anything at all.
Except
in every way.
by losing their population and their corporations to Texas and Florida. Sure.
By less than 1%. Ooh,
It
man.
doesn't matter.
Ooh,
It's not by 1%.
less than. You're right.
No, it's not. It's more. for
Less
sure.
than 1%.
On an annual basis, I don't know if you know this, but 1% of 50 million people is a lot. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
know.
sure.
I know, but when you have 50 million people, yes, some people are going to move.
And again, it's plateau. I'm from California. I grew up in South LA, and I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like, we are not seeing any improvement in these places. Like, you're trying to pretend like California is some beacon of hope. Like, it's the where the grift is the worst. The disparities amongst minorities and white people in those areas are.
Tell me a thing Republicans do or are proposing to relieve any of those things you complain about. Name one.
They don't
thing.
even have. They don't. Yeah,
Name
sure. They
one
don't
thing.
actually have. They don't actually have any type of input. Republicans don't have power.
Yeah, they just
in
complain.
California,
They just complain.
Chicago.
No, name
I'm
a thing they do in
complaining.
other
I'm not a
states.
Republican.
No,
I'm complaining.
Name a thing that Republicans do to say stop people from being homeless in their states. Go ahead and tell me. What do they do?
I am complaining, sir. I'm complaining. I'm from California, and I'm not a Republican.
They've taught you how to complain about homelessness in California. Every MAGA has said it on my live.
Yeah,
Tell
it's
me a
awful.
thing that they do. They don't do anything.
Pickles. I've used to live in downtown before 2016, before he was even in office. So you're trying to pretend like it's something that I just learned from Trump to talk about homelessness in California. Like, no,
I was
bro, I
15
grew
years
up
old
there.
when my dad brought this up. My dad was driving me around one day and we saw some people that were houseless, and he goes, "You know what, John? Those people that you see that are houseless, they choose to be houseless."
A lot of them.
And that's his stance. This is an age-old thing that Republicans say.
You're trying to tell me that a lot of those people are not addicted to substances that can't
That's
be
an illness.
stayed,
Yeah.
huh?
That's an illness. Yeah, that we should help people out of. Yeah.
Right,
You
sure.
can't
I
just go
don't
around and yell
disagree.
at them.
Then why? So then, why did the $50 billion do absolutely nothing but make the problem worse in California?
You would have to substantiate that, bro. That's
Just
you
look at the bills. Just look at the bills that were
so
brought in.
anytime we try
That
to
were
use
passed.
money to fix these problems, now that's bad. That's what you've learned from this?
What I'm trying to tell you is that it's a grift. It all went to
It's not a
NGOs
grift.
and CEOs of these companies, of these
Listen,
I-
that's
these
very convenient for you to
nonprofits that
say, but that's
of
not
these
true, man.
nonprofits with the CEO that gets paid $270,000 a quarter. Like, stop it, bro. You
Okay,
understand
so
the
you're
grift.
right. You're right. We should never ever take money and use it to help people that are in need. You're right.
And again, there is no perfect way to do it. You're trying to pretend like there was, anything that Trump does is just stupid, and there was a
It
million other
is.
ways to do it.
Have you
But I'm
seen
telling you,
Trump
no
getting
one's done it.
glazed? Did you see that recent meeting with Fox?
No one's done
Like
it.
in the meeting room with Trump? Did you see that? They fucking glaze him. Like he's the greatest person to have ever lived. They glaze the absolute fuck out of him. Where would anybody have room to give constructive criticism in this administration to Trump? Never. Never. Trump literally just says something and it's gospel.
I've also heard you or other creators say that there's like literally infighting between the party and between the inner circle
That's right.
around.
That's right. We criticize each other.
So
It's
then
healthy.
how? No. You guys have said that there's criticism amongst the inner circle, Rubio, Hegseth, and Musk and Trump. Like they're all literally infighting.
Yeah. What happens is
reported that as well.
What happens is when someone steps out of line in Trump's administration, they just get fired. There's no arguing. There's no constructive. There's no meeting and saying, "Hey, what are y'all's best ideas?" No, it's the fight for authority. It's for what's right. And Trump gets out. Musk gets ousted the second he goes. Listen, free trade's way better. Obviously, I would trust Musk and his opinions on this more than Trump. But I think Musk has more skin in the game because Trump just owns a bunch of real estate and some meme coins, and he sells a bunch of hats from China. That's about it. But Musk has actual industries that rely on free trade to succeed. So I kind of think he has a little skin in the game there.
And he's still, able to make that, say what would help his companies, and still he's getting the short end of that stick. It's still
getting ousted. He's gone.
Along with every other billionaire in America.
What do you mean? No, he's being kicked from the administration.
No. I'm talking about every other billionaire in America has to deal with these tariffs the same way that Musk is. Like I'm trying to tell you,
and it's very convenient.
Nobody has attacked the actual billionaire class and political donor class, and try to circumvent Citizens United as much as possible. Besides Trump and these actions, like if you don't see bullshit. It's not bullshit. Bro.
Okay. First of all, Trump is the champion of the billionaire class. He's the one going around cutting their taxes. So even if you say like Musk invested
market purposes,
okay,
that's for
like it doesn't do anything to help us. So like instead of just like giving them a bunch of free money and pray that they go and build our economy and not just hoard it, what we do is we give subsidies and say, listen, if you want extra money to build jobs, show us. You have to apply for it. Show us exactly what jobs you're going to be doing. Here's the industries we're going to subsidize. Go do it. By all means, go do it. Here's some money to do it. But Trump just wants to give it back so they can do stock buybacks. They want to hoard money. They want to buy real estate with it. They're not going to help the economy with it.
That does help the economy, bro. Like
not even close. to what we do with it. We have all the data on this. When Democrats are in power, we make jobs. When y'all are in power, you lose jobs.
Can you cite that data? What data do you have? Just I
Yeah,
don't need to see
since
it, but
since the
like,
Cold War, Democrats have created 50 million jobs, and Republicans have created 1.
so job creation came off the highest level of job creation came off of the 1982 to 2001 period. Jobs increased, GDP increased, and also market participation increased the most after from 1982 to 2001, and it came off of tax cuts and deregulation through Reagan. So
Okay, or we can just look at literally the numbers. Whatever you just yapped is not true. Here's the numbers. I can even pull it up again on the internet, but this is what it looks like
look
on a
at
chart.
GDP. Can you look it up a GDP chart by year?
Are you just going to look at how GDP goes up and down?
Yeah, can look because I mean that's what creates job is GDP growth. Does not GDP not growth the exact driver of job creation?
I think GDP might be a result of job growth,
Absolutely, sir.
a
Like
byproduct of job growth.
you need to have the growth to before you hire the employee. Like, how do you not understand that? Like, what do you mean? Like, how can you have growth
somewhat true,
without hiring
but what I just explained to you
create
is
the widget to
your
sell it
side
to have the growth?
your
Like, how
side
can you even do that?
your
That's
side
impossible.
does everything to make sure that people get money outside of making jobs, and our side literally says we're going to write laws that you have to create jobs if you want more money.
Government jobs, government bureaucracy jobs.
No, I'm
and,
talking about Chips and
literally
Science
pork.
Act and Inflation Reduction
Literally
Act,
pork.
investments in industrial, like in industries like clean energy
People's-
manufacturing, bio.
Just look
Listen,
up a GDP growth by year, and
how about
just,
you
just look
show
up.
me? I'm not going to do your homework for you.
Come on, bro. I'm working right now. I'm literally talking to somebody.
Here, I'll show you this for like the 30th time, bro.
GDP growth by year, bro.
This is the jobs that Joe Biden made. These are all the things that we said, hey, if you want some money, instead of
Those
us
are
giving you huge
jobs.
sloppy tax breaks, we're gonna give you tax money that is directly responsible for making something that you can't go and just do a stock buyback, something that you can't just go buy a bunch of real estate and make it harder for Americans to buy homes. You're gonna fucking have to make actual things in manufacturing jobs, semiconductor, clean energy manufacturing, battery EVs, biomanufacturing, heavy industry, clean power. That's what you have to do. And here's more. That's what we do. And then you guys just give all the rich people free money. That's all you do.
How come you don't want to look at GDP growth by year?
Okay, GDP growth by year since 1980.
No. You got to go back further.
Okay, well, my claim was
Tax
since
cuts of
my claim was
82.
since the Cold War, the end of the Cold War.
Again, Reagan was. You got to go back a decade, bro. The Cold War was in the 50s,
Okay, the end of the Cold War, and it was 60s.
70s. And just that top link.
Okay.
Look at where you see the highest number after that.
Listen, this is not going to do anything for you when we can just cite the actual job growth. If you're just going to sit here and raise like doubt because the GDP was high certain years, all I have to do is look at the actual
70s,
jobs
bro.
numbers since
Look at
those
the trouble
years.
that we were in the 70s due to high taxation. And then when you lower the taxation, look at those numbers basically
Okay.
just absolutely rebound and take off. So just to add
Okay.
this, just so you know,
This doesn't help
just
you
so
with the
you know,
jobs thing.
just so you know, from those two down points of 82 to 2001, where you see that those drops based off of literally a war, that had 810% growth in the market. 810% growth, the highest it's ever been, due to lowering taxes and making more friendly to people to participate in job creation through competitive capitalism.
Yeah, I can literally
You're
just
trying to
explain that
pretend-
away in 5 seconds. If you don't want to pay taxes, create jobs and use all of your money to create jobs and make your profit margin zero. Boom. You don't need a tax break to do that. That is a lie. That is the
Well,
thing
that's
that
the-
you
that-
guys
that
have
doesn't
carried for
motivate anyone.
decades. It's
That
very
doesn't
sad you
motivate
still
anyone.
believe in that, man.
That motivates no one to actually do it. If you can't create money from it, if you can't build success from it, like do you one day want to have a successful Do you want to make $1 million a year eventually by doing what you do?
Sure.
Eventually, do you want to be? Do you want to be successful?
Sure.
That
And no tax
motivation-
break is going to give me the ability to make more jobs. If there's a market for me to
That is a
create hires-
lie. That is an absolute lie you just
No.
said. If
No,
you can
it's-
keep more of your money and keep more of that $1 million, you will have more room to hire people.
That's
and
not
if
true.
you don't hire people, it's on you.
That's
It's
not
on
true.
you.
It's not true. So if my tax liability was 99.999%, I would create the most jobs. I would take every penny of my profits and make all the jobs in the world. So you're wrong.
No, because you wouldn't be motivated to make the $1 million in the first place.
not true.
Like this has been tried all over the world, where you basically take over all of the private companies, and then look what happens every single time.
Nobody gives up before they start because they're eventually going to be taxed really high when they're rich.
Look
That's
at-
a dumb
look at the-
idea.
There's no growth in Cuba. There's no growth in Venezuela. There's no growth in North Korea. Nobody's
Address what I
inventing
just said.
North
Nobody
Korea.
just stops before they even start and be like, you know what? I'm not even going to try to become successful because when I eventually am
Absolutely.
successful, they're going to tax me a little more. Fuck that.
That's exactly what it is.
Nobody's doing that, dude.
So then why does North Korea stuck in the 1950s?
Because of people like you thinking that being fucking incestuous and protectionism and nationalism is more important than free trade.
No, that's actually ass backwards, bro. It's because they don't have participation in their profits. They're just basically given a fucking job. They're just given a job.
No, because
Just given a
people
job and
do
told
not
what
want to
do.
trade or do
On a
any
daily
business.
basis, you're told
No.
what to do. You have no motivation to create
Dude,
anything.
I-
Even if I said, what am I going to say? Mr. Kim Jong-un, sir, I actually thought of a great idea of a website called fucking TikTok. Please just let me get
No.
to, like, no,
The
you're
reason-
going to be
the
like,
reason-
get back in the rice field, you fucking
right.
idiot.
Chill. The
You know
reason
that
there's
the Wright brothers,
the
you know the
reason-
Wright brothers didn't even go to high school?
Okay, stop. The reason North Korea is the way it is because they don't have it. Nobody will trade with them at all because Kim Jong Un is very much like Trump, and he's an evil person. He's an authoritarian dictator, and they do not want to recognize him on the world stage as somebody who's diplomatic. That's what say. Is that true or false? And they will not. Nobody will trade with them at all. Do we trade with them? Right? Okay, and second of all, if somebody did want to invent TikTok there, it's literally against the rules. Any sort of social media like that would embrace Western culture, against the rules. Hot dogs are outlawed in fucking North Korea. There's no way they would do it, and we're going to be seeing that here in a few decades if people like Trump keep coming to power and saying, listen, we need to embrace family values, so no more gay people, no more LGBTQ anything, no more trans ideologies. You guys
Wait,
are going to
Trump
stick to
would
this
say
silly Christian shit.
Trump would say this?
Yes.
You're wrong, bro.
Trump is the next Kim Jong-un. People glaze him just like Kim Jong-un right now in the White House.
Bro, Trump is on his way out. I will say this: you're right. You were right. It's definitely getting more to, a reaction to what has been happening. Some of these people on the right are absolutely out of their fucking mind. They're literally anti-Semites that believe Israel is in charge of everything. That Israel lives rent-free in their brains. They're going fucking crazy on the right. I understand this, but that is not everybody, and that's not even the majority. The majority of people just understand that they prefer to have a right-wing party that's pro-business opposed to a left-wing party that's
Yeah, I
literally
know,
pro-big
But I've
government.
literally cornered
and-
you on this
and-
30
and
times.
grifting.
There's no such thing as giving so many tax breaks that we get rich. Like literally a
then why
handful
did
of
it
people are
happen?
just going to hoard all of those taxes. They get isolated from the healthy cycle of cash flow in the economy. They literally just isolate all of this money and they hoard it, and it doesn't do anything for anyone else but the few people who manage to make it. So it doesn't go create jobs. They sit there, they invested
like
in
Gavin Newsom, right, or Nancy Pelosi. You think
Dude,
that these
it-
people,
it-
you think
you-
these people
you-
that are actually advocating for these policies are your
Yes,
friends? Like,
yes.
no, bro.
If
They are
you're
actually
if
not.
you're
They
two
just
things
get
can
the
be
money
two
to them.
things-
They just get the money to themselves through a different route, through a different way.
two things can be
Different
true at once.
avenue.
You can be rich and advocate for higher tax rates for rich people. Right?
They're not. They don't actually do it though. They don't.
They
actually-
absolutely Nancy Pelosi literally did do it. The Inflation Reduction Act literally raised Nancy Pelosi's taxes
By how much?
15%.
The Inflation Reduction Act raised taxes for who?
For people making over $400,000.
Raised taxes.
It raised the minimum tax by people making $400,000 or more.
I'll look
Minimum
into it.
tax is
I don't think
15%.
that's actually going to be the main problem, because look what's happened after. Nothing was happening.
What do you mean? It brought us in. It paid for itself.
Sir,
The
the
Inflation
debt went
Reduction.
up since that has been implemented. The debt has gone up, and there hasn't even been any
You're
bills.
literally obfuscating. The Inflation Reduction Act is already netting. It's projected to net us $258 billion net, meaning bring us in money. So it paid for all these subsidies for different types of energy production, and it also paid for itself. That's a democratic masterpiece. Boom, boom, boom. Fucking masterclass. Biden passed a bill that paid for itself and some. And you're finding a way to complain about it. It's fucking stupid.
All right, bro. We disagree. Free markets forever, bro. Pro business. Fuck those right wing racist fucks. I think that you're on the wrong side, bro. You think that government is going to help you. They're never going to help you.
You think the same thing?
I don't think the government's going to help me. I think the people on the right don't want government around their fucking checkbooks.
Literally, you guys are for the
I've
most
never been
government
forced to buy a
intervention
product.
in any case, in any way,
That's a
like in
lie.
every facet of your life. You want government intervention. You have the government's
is a lie,
interfering in
bro.
free trade. You want them in the fucking doctor's office. You want them in the schools, making sure kids read the Bible. You want them everywhere. Spare me.
No, bro. That you got it backwards, man. And I get it, bro. I know who you're here to perform for.
You want them in the bedroom. You want it everywhere, everywhere. You guys want them. You want them in the fucking TV station. You want them censoring the news. You want them fucking suing news outlets. You want them suing pollsters. You want them fucking taking down NPR and PBS. You want to make sure you guys. This
Nobody
is
wants
Trump
to
is.
take down NPR. We just don't want to pay for it. We don't want to pay to create more of you.
Got it.
If you want to create yourself, you want to create your, more of your buddies and more of these people on the left, the 1.3 people in your chat, and you want to convert them to your fucking, dogma ideas, like, sure, do it. That's fine. I don't have a reason to pay for it.
Well, we don't want to pay for church to be in the government, but there you guys are making all sorts of fucking Christian shit and Christian task force in the federal government.
Like what?
The anti-Christian bias task force that Trump created.
What's wrong with having minorities protected, or minority class?
They're not a
protected?
minority. They're actually literally the majority. You fucking
So
silly
what's
goose.
wrong with having exactly? So now, if that's the point that I want to make to you, sir. If you just basically said, if there's an Muslim hate group that, or like, you would have never said shit about it, but because it's Christians, like you're just like this fucking, like,
You guys would actually
leftists,
start a
like, you're so
civil
upset that
war
people
if
have
somebody
religion.
started an anti-Muslim bias task force. You guys would literally start shooting people.
No,
Spare me.
They already exist, bro, and I'm all
Not
for
in the
it.
federal government.
Bro, I live in a majority Muslim neighborhood. I think they're perfectly, within their
I
right.
am
to do what
fine
they
living
do.
among all sorts of people of religious backgrounds,
No,
but I don't think
except
the
Christians.
government
Say
should
it.
be taking
Say
part
it.
in that.
Except Christians, say it.
Yeah, fuck Christians.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. You're just like every other fucking, brainwashed lefty who feels that Christianity is the reason why your life is bad. Like, why don't you just actually get some fucking skills, get to work, and then you'll make some money?
Hey,
Like,
dude, you're preaching to somebody who's got 1,300 people watching him, but I fucking sit here and talk. You're not going to tell me to go reevaluate my life and pull myself up by my
No,
bootstraps.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about all the people complaining. And it's not like, bro, like, you're trying to pretend like somebody who's not doing what you're doing cannot be successful. Like, anyone can be
I did
successful.
not say that.
But again, bro, the point is the right wing, not the far right, because they're fucking absolutely crazy, but right wing politics is the only thing that that is what got us to where we are right now. You want to basically say that we're number one in
Light years-
everything.
We're not number one in. What are we number one in, dude?
You said that, not me. You said that. We're the #1 country in the world. Of course, we're going to buy cheap products.
No,
We can spend
we
more
are
than
the
anybody.
richest country in the world.
Exactly, sir. So, okay, how
But
do you
all
think
of
that we
that,
got
all of
there?
that, okay,
It
we could
it
grow our
wasn't by big
GDP. We
government.
could grow our GDP by $10 trillion. But if only 5 people are holding that extra $10 trillion, that don't really do anything for me and you, does it?
All right, bro. I got to run, man. Have a great day.
Chat, 1 tap equals 1 prayer for Alex. 1 tap equals 1 prayer. Is my government name a secret? Kinda. 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 And sorry, chat, for all of my followers who are Christians, I'm so sorry. I don't mean any hate towards you directly. But I am a victim of religious trauma. I personally don't like it. Sorry. Yellow?
You know, it's kind of rich. You're saying Donald Trump's like Kim Jong-un. Whenever your party wants to get rid of free speech, your party wants to get rid of guns, just like Kim Jong-un does.
Do you want to talk about free speech?
Yeah, Kamala Harris said it was a privilege, not a right.
Okay, and her muttering that, we could have opinions about that. But we have actual things Trump is actually doing.
No, it's a right, not a privilege.
Okay, we have Trump actually doing things attacking free speech now, though.
I mean, when a news outlet falsely says he's a rapist, then yeah, you're allowed to sue for defamation.
Okay, but we're talking about things like him attacking Harvard for their own practices that they've implemented.
Yeah, didn't they actually have to apologize because it turned out they were having anti-Semitics on campus? No, it came out a couple days ago that they issued an apology. The president of Harvard had to issue an entire apology because it turned out, guess what? There are racists on the campus.
I would love to see that, but that doesn't prove anything, right? So, like, the president, one person being able to go after an entire college and change their tax exemption status, and using the federal government to attack somebody for the way they run their business, that is an attack on free speech, period.
Okay, but attacking Jews, that doesn't replicate any right-wing thing from the 1930s, right?
That would have to go through the courts. Just accusations and one person apologizing for it doesn't prove anything, does it?
You don't remember what happened in Colombia?
The same thing where Trump threatened to pull $400 million from Columbia University if they don't do something he
Who did they attack? Who did they
You're
attack?
talking about the students protesting?
Yes. Who did the students attack?
The pro-Palestinian students? Is it illegal to protest now?
No. Protesting's fine, but who did they attack?
Who did they attack? Tell me, who got hurt?
Jewish students.
Did they get hurt?
Yes.
Name
a
someone
lot
who got
of
hurt.
Jewish students got hurt in Colombia.
Not a single person got hurt in Columbia University.
You're lying now. You're just straight up lying.
Do you want to tell me who got hurt?
What, by their names?
Yeah.
Did you not see the videos when Biden was in office? All the Jewish students getting hit, locked out of their dorms and buildings, not being able to go to class.
So you're gonna first of all you're gonna have to prove that somebody got hurt. I've never heard of anybody getting hurt, and also you would have to say
you don't pay attention to real news.
Dog, I literally watch the news all day every day. You're gonna have to prove it, bro. That is not a thing that a president should do with an executive order. That is literally against free speech, right?
Protect Jewish students.
It's already against the law to attack any kind of student,
exactly.
Right?
So why are y'all defending it?
We're not. We're saying that it's illegal for a president to write an executive order for one person's opinion to clash with a student, like an entire college campus's financial stability.
One person, when they literally camped out in the entire college, not letting students go to class.
You're gonna justify Trump doing that because you really sympathize with somebody who might have been a victim of someone breaking the law.
Yes, I hate racists, and just because y'all like
it's already illegal to be. It's already illegal to be violent, so that's not.
So why do y'all support it?
We don't support violence.
Oh, okay.
We just
but
don't
I bet
support.
Once I get off this live, I'm gonna have like 6 messages telling people from your leftist friends telling me to go kill myself like I usually always do. But
Hey,
you are the
freedom
party
of
of
speech,
peace.
bud.
Telling someone to hurt themselves is not freedom of speech.
Wait
You
a
can't
second.
ask
Wait
for
a second.
violence on
Yes, it is.
people. No, it's not.
Yes, it
Okay, so
absolutely
you
is.
can go into a movie theater and yell fire.
No, that's invoking violence.
Oh, but telling someone to go kill themselves and
Mhm.
that someone should beat their ass isn't provoking violence?
No, a threat is one thing, but invoking, like, I think there's a little nuance here, right?
Oh, but y'all are the party of love and peace, though, right? Except when someone disagrees with y'all.
Yeah, we don't have Yahtzees on our side.
Oh, okay. So y'all are the Yahtzees, right? Because what the Yahtzees did is anyone who disagreed with them, they would shame them and they would tell them to go hurt themselves, and they would hurt them.
No, you guys literally have Yahtzees on your side. You guys are in the same rally, in the standing on the
No,
same side.
actually, Yahtzees were socialists, not right or left wings.
It's not true. They actually came
Hitler
after
said
the socialists, and
Hitler was asked if he was
Yes.
left or right wing, and he said he was neither.
He was cosplaying as a socialist, and yes, he had all of the socialists and communists killed and rooted out of the government. That was one of his first things. And if you don't know the whole history, I suggest not invoking it.
I don't think you know the whole history. What was the first thing that Germany did in the 1930s? They took away what?
Pew pews.
Yes.
And when's the last time we did that?
What are y'all trying to take away?
Oh, when did we do that?
What are y'all trying to do, though?
So what you're talking about is us limiting the ability for you to have an AR. That's not taking away all your pew pews.
No.
He got flagged. Guys, it's one thing if like Kamala Harris or Joe Biden were to write an executive order that says, you know what, the Second Amendment's no good. I, one person, am going to write an executive order to take away all your pew-pews. Then you would have a grievance. You would have a legit claim. But we have Trump. Trump's the only person in recent history that has done anything anti-2A. Remember bump stock ban? That was Trump. Take the L, bud. Take the L. I didn't kick him. He got a violation. Pam wants your guns real bad.
What's up, buddy?
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah. How are you?
Doing good. Are you? What do you like about Trump?
Well, I wanted to, 2 conversations ago, you were talking about corporate profits and taxation and creating jobs.
Uh-huh.
I've been up here before. I wanted to tell you that, like, as somebody who has a doctorate in finance, I 100% agree with you. I think that's where we get a lot of it wrong. Like, you could literally just spend your way out of paying any taxes by creating more jobs. I agree,
Thank you.
100%. Yeah, of course. My problem is I think that, like, would you tomorrow, question, like, would you raise the United States corporate tax rate tomorrow if you were in charge?
I don't have all of the answers with economics, but
Okay.
I would say generally I am against lowering taxes to create jobs. I think that's incoherent. I'm against lowering taxes to when it comes to paying off the national debt. I think that's the wrong direction to move. I think 27% corporate tax rate is viable, and especially if we want to alleviate the tax burden on the middle and lower class, I think it's totally fine to do that. And if you simply just look at our tax rate versus other countries, I don't think that's like looking at all of the details and all the contexts.
Yeah, my counter to that would be I think that's going after the wrong problem. You ever heard of a term called profit shifting?
No.
Okay, so it's essentially when United States corporations shift their profits over to more favorable tax countries. That's that simple. Right?
Yeah.
So that's where I would tackle, and that's honestly who gets my vote. If anyone ever were to do that, I don't care if they're Republican or Democrat, because we used to operate under something called net export neutrality, which does not have anything actually to do with tariffs or imports or exports or anything. It has more to do with keeping the taxability of everything in the United States. So it disallowed us to be able, for a corporation, let's say, to open up a dummy corporation over in Ireland or the Netherlands or wherever has a more favorable tax rate, shift our profits over there and never reinvest it back in the United States. And we used to have those laws that prevented that. And essentially, it was you could not pay tax as long as you brought that money back to the U.S. and reinvested in your U.S. company, and that did not count stock buybacks and all that other crap that neither party with half a brain likes. Neither party, right? So that would be my attack. Is like anybody, if you want to raise a corporate tax or whatever, I think that's a moot point if you're not going after profit shifting to other.
Sure, I can agree with that too.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. I'm not really up here to agree or disagree. I can hop down. I just think that's something worth talking about, looking into, because if we're talking about changing corporate tax rate without talking about changing the profit shifting laws and how companies like Apple, Microsoft, all these major, you call them the Mag 7, right? They all have an international location in a more favorable tax rate where they shift cumulatively trillions of dollars worth of profits over and pay less taxes.
Yeah, I can get behind that. I can agree with you on that. I've definitely heard of that. I just didn't know the phrasing behind it. But yeah, companies like Amazon and all those companies that are huge parts of our market, yet not paying any tax liabilities, and it's not because of the tax rates; it's because of the nature of the way they're incorporated.
Yeah, and in a way, if you force them to abide by those laws and bring these, it's not about bringing manufacturing back. It's about bringing the taxability of all that. Who cares where something's manufactured? Like, that's opportunity cost. There's countries out there that manufacture things much better than we do, vice versa. And each country has their own niche. And if we all play together, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But bringing the taxability of all those things back to the United States is very important. I don't think United States corporations should be able to hide profits in Ireland.
Yeah.
Or wherever.
I agree. I don't see Trump being the person that stops that stuff. I think that's part of the grimy, gross business person that Trump is. I think he would be the person taking advantage of those things. He would never do that to himself. And that's what I think the difference is between Democrats and Republicans is if you're a rich billionaire and advocating for the Democrats, you're advocating for a higher tax on the upper class.
Yeah. Pickles overall, like for me, it's what I would like to see is I don't care which side of the aisle is. It's get rid of the tariff thing is becoming a disaster. I did have a lot of faith though, unfortunately, not in Trump, but in the person he picked for this, Scott Bessent, right? A smart guy, lifelong Democrat, so it's not like he's a weird ultra right MAGA Republican or anything. He's the Secretary of the Treasury. I had a lot of hopes for him to be able to bring something to the table that actually made sense, and it just didn't happen, and I'm disappointed. So it wasn't about faith in Trump; it was more about faith in one of the cabinet picks that I thought were decent.
Yeah, instead he's listening to Pierre Navarro, right? A weird fringe economist. I don't know where he went. I guess he had a phone call. All right. We've got this one will be fun. Yellow. This person was begging to come up. I don't know. I guess it's a bot. I think it's a bot. Was that a real bot, chat? It was a bot. Yellow?
Hello.
Hi there.
Hi. So do two quick things. One of which I'm going to state that I am Jewish and I have family investment in Israel. So I want to have you go back and check. There were Jewish students that were hurt in the, I want to say anti-Semitic, but I am in favor of free speech. I am a very strong believer in the Constitution. But there were Jewish people that were hurt during the they say anti-Semitic, I want to say pro-Gaza demonstrations. So I want you to go back and check your facts on that because there were students Jewish students that actually had to drop out because of it.
I apologize for misrepresenting that, but I also stand by the fact that that's already illegal, right? And we don't need Trump, the government, dissenting among colleges and threatening their financial well-being if they don't bend to his will. And it was more than that. It was saying that there should be no masks. Also, he was trying to give places like Harvard like complete oversight in their curriculum and their hiring
I totally
practices,
agree with you.
completely against the First Amendment.
Right. I totally agree with you on that. I just wanted you to check your facts on that, just to make sure.
Okay.
The second thing that I have a problem with, and I'm asking your listeners because I want to understand, how are we spending $10 million on a parade when we have just rescinded and taken away food from seniors using the senior program for foods? There's many of them, but the grants for those programs, we now have seniors that are literally going hungry in my neighborhood because of it. And we took away the food. When we took away the HHS building in San Francisco, we also took away the food programs that went with it for the people in California, for children, directly for children. We took away their food. I want to know, how can we take this away and justify spending $10 million on a parade? Anyway, that is my question to your listeners, and I would like to hear their views on that. Thank you very much, by the way, for having this platform. I want you to know I really appreciate you and all the stuff that you do.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for being forgiving for me misrepresenting that. Thank you.
And I will step down.
Alrighty. Chat, I am sorry if I misrepresented that. Guys, if you're a Trump supporter, please hop in the box. Come tell me why you like Trump. If you are a friendly, please hop out. I love you guys so much. But if you are a friendly, we do lose viewers the second I bring somebody up that agrees with me. Also, don't forget to give me a follow if you enjoy these debates. I do have a Cash App and Venmo in the bio. If you guys are trying to support the stream, that's one of the best ways to do it. There's also a way to subscribe, whether on YouTube or on TikTok. It's like $3 a month. It's like the cost of a cup of coffee. It helps me sort out my bills, and it helps me keep these Trump supporters angry. Yellow? Hello? Hello? Oh, we've got an imposter in here. Yellow? Yellow? Okay. Yeah, guests aren't connecting. I don't know why. Hello? Yellow? Hello? It's me, Pickles. Hello? It's me, Pickles. Hello? It's me. Hello? All right, we're almost out of guest chat. Let's tap the screen. Let's hit the 150K. We have 1,300 viewers in here. That means we've rooted out all MAGA. All MAGA have just given up, guys. We have 100%. We have 100% liberals in my stream. Just a big old echo chamber. We finally did it, guys. Hello?
Yo, what's up?
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes.
What do you like about Trump, dude?
Okay, well, I'm just wondering if you've heard of Joshua Block.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's all I wanted to know.
He voted for Trump. Joshua Block voted for Trump, guys. Who's Joshua Block? A quick search. I don't. Yeah. Anyway. He's hard to describe. That's a perfect way to put it. Yeah. Hello. Ah. He's an anime character. Yeah, World of Shirts. Yes, 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 yes. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
I am.
Okay, what do you like about Trump?
Please, you say Trump sucks.
Yeah, I know. I was asking you. What do you like about Trump?
It's not so much I like about Trump. It's more about what I like what he's doing for the country. You know, it's the economy's getting boosted just like he did his last term, and we're moving forward.
The economy is in a recession. We're the GDP shrinking. You mean?
No, wait. You can't. No, we cannot blame Trump for anything that he did because it's only been 100 days. Using that as a premise is hypocrisy.
Wait,
he's been here for 100 days.
You just praised him for the same thing but opposite. So
because
can I
what
say
he's
the same thing for
doing is
you?
moving forward. I am saying what he's doing is moving us forward. He just got here, and things that he's doing are going to affect our future. You're talking about the present, which is a result of things that happened in the past, prior to his 100 days.
I would say that every economist in the world would say that his tariffs are negatively affecting our economy and shrinking our GDP.
How so?
The tariffs are an obstacle between us and our trading partners, thus therefore slowing down the rate of trade, slowing down and shrinking our GDP and making.
Okay, let's unpack. Please. I don't mean to be an ass, but I don't want it to compile so many things. But we need to unpack some things here.
Okay.
You said trading partners.
Yes.
What is your definition? Not the definition. Your definition of trading partners.
People in the World Trade Organization, WTO.
But that doesn't do anything for Americans. You see, because we still have to live on one premise, right? That it's an old one, it's an old saying. He who has the gold is king. We should be putting in all the rules and regulations of how trade is going on because we are the consumers. So when you go to a place of business, bear with me one moment. When you go to a place of business and you spend your dollars, you want to be accommodated to.
I know you're justifying what Trump's doing, but I'm saying you have to acknowledge that he is doing it, right? You're justifying it all day. That's not the question at hand. I'm saying he is doing it, therefore our trade is being impacted. Is it not?
It is being impacted in a
so that's shrinking
way.
The economy.
It's good.
The economy is shrinking because he is making it harder for us to trade with people we trade with.
Okay, the only thing that's going to make it harder for us to trade is if the consumers refuse to buy.
When right now we haven't refused to buy. We don't buy.
When things have been more expensive for the last 6-7 years.
Yeah, those were due to a pandemic. The whole world saw inflation.
A pandemic, and then nothing was done in the last 4 years to adjust the economy. Things just got worse. I totally agree. That's why I didn't say 4 years. I didn't say 4 years.
I feel like you're kind of pivoting. Okay. But I bet you $1,000. In fact, I will literally put $1,000 down on the table right now if you can name the things the Biden administration did for the economy. I bet you don't know. You have no idea, do you?
I don't. There aren't any.
Okay,
I'll double down on that bet if you can name some things that he did do that affected the economy in a positive way.
I'll help you out right now. So Biden passed an infrastructure bill and it created 56,000 projects to date, creating hundreds of thousands of jobs. He also invested in the Inflation Reduction Act, which created hundreds of thousands of jobs.
Hold on. Wait. Wait, how is it that he created hundreds of thousands of jobs, yet unemployment is at an all-time high?
Biden had an all-time low in unemployment, 3.5% in February 2023. All-time low, like 50-year low, bro.
No, that's not feasible.
That's literally
no, there
true.
wasn't
That's
an all-time.
no one debates
Sir,
this. No one denies this.
The thing is this, right? We can't just grab stats from someone that is biased. When you look at the economy and you realize that trade jobs, blue collar workers, all these things have millions and millions of job openings that can't be filled. However, but you're telling me that their jobs are being created. Okay, you can create job postings.
That's not mutually exclusive.
You can create job postings, but these people aren't fit. We don't have anybody filling these jobs.
That's why we have correction numbers at the end of each administration. They say they do a poll of how many jobs were created versus how many were virtually created, and they do corrections. So in Trump's administration, after his administration was coming to an end, they did a correction on his jobs numbers. He's one of the first presidents in history to create negative jobs or have negative job numbers. Biden did have positive job numbers.
You cannot use the pandemic only when it comes to your benefit.
Okay, and you can't ignore the pandemic when it comes to your benefit. So Biden did
No,
jobs.
I'm not. Wait, sir, I'm not. Because remember what I said. When I said the economy's been in the crapper, I said the last 6 years.
Okay.
That's four of Biden.
I want to acknowledge
2 of the pandemic.
I want you to acknowledge though what I said, and I haven't even finished. Biden has done so much. He's passed more legislation than any president in the last like 4 decades, and you just don't know anything. You listen to Trump and you listen to Fox News when he was saying people are eating dogs and cats.
We can't have a conversation when you start throwing accusations out.
Dog,
I don't listen to anyone. I do my own research, and yes, I will be the first one to admit that some of my research might be limited. The jobs that you say that he has created were jobs that were supposed to be created but were never filled.
I literally
I'm not disagreeing with you on the creation of those jobs.
The infrastructure bill literally created jobs. It was the law. It was the law. They have to. It would have literally, when you fund projects to the tunes of billions of dollars, there are people that get to go build those things. That creates jobs, man. Can you tell me something other than Trump passing a tax bill that actually created jobs?
The tax bill, like I said, we're just doing the 100 days. Him creating jobs, we can't do too many.
I'm talking about his last administration.
Jobs. His last administration, the bills that created jobs, I think he was too busy trying to, keep the jobs in place with all the stuff happening with the pandemic.
That was his last year. That was his last year of his presidency, bro. What about the first 3 years? What about the first 3 years? All he did was golf, right?
You're being disingenuous, brother.
How many times do you think he golfed? He golfed 160 times, costing us about $200 million. That's not disingenuous. It's literally a world record.
Okay, I don't have those stats. I've never seen those numbers. And to be honest, you have to understand one thing. I want to put this premise out there. I didn't support Trump as a person. I supported the things that he wants to do for this country, which is put America first, have jobs created here, have companies take those factories and manufacturing jobs and take them and bring them back to the U.S.
We know, and no economist thinks what he's doing is a step towards that.
Say that again, sir?
No economist agrees with what he's doing, or that is a step towards what you're saying. Sherry, thank you for the $5.
Name me one economist that you're absolutely certain that you would put your life on the line that isn't a shill.
That isn't a shill? Okay.
Yes,
the congressional budget office.
Just against him.
So everybody that says something negative against Trump, you guys discount.
No.
100%.
I see. You can't. You're not answering my question. You're just asking another question.
Taxfoundation.org. Taxfoundation.org. There you go. Everything that Trump is doing, even when it was just 25% tariffs.
Who's funding taxfoundation.org?
It's a nonprofit, bro.
Nonprofits always have to get funded.
It's a nonprofit. It's not for profit. They're not running for a political position. They've been around forever. and they're not all of a sudden this huge biased source
And
because
you
they say
and
something
you're
bad about Trump.
absolutely okay, and you're absolutely certain that that foundation doesn't get grants from USAID or none of the other
USAID?
companies that's trickled down from USAID.
I know you so badly want to find some way that they get funded that you don't agree with, so you can discount what they say.
No,
but
I know that
it's
for a
just
fact.
math, man.
I know it for a fact.
It's just math, bro. When you look at what Trump's tariffs were gonna do, what the projections were, when he only proposed 25% tariffs on China, the numbers were negative 327,000 jobs, just the tariffs on China, and 147,000 jobs lost from Canada and Mexico when he was going to do 25% tariffs on them. So
Wait,
you can
why are we
imagine
talking
what it
about Canada
actually
and
is.
Mexico?
But
Why are
we're
we
talking about
Canada
the
and Mexico?
projections of what Trump is doing in job creation. So that it's very relevant as to like economists saying that tariffs equal job losses, not job growth. And only weird maggots that just think Trump can do no wrong think that tariffs create jobs.
You see, that I actually for a second I guess the mistake I made was coming in here after only listening to you for about 90 seconds, and I thought we were gonna have a respectable debate. But I guess that's impossible with a liberal progressive.
Dude, you just you want to
no,
debunk
you just
any...
called me a maggot, bro. You just called me a maggot, and you want me to and you're gonna tell me that you weren't being disrespectful?
I'm
You
sorry.
just
I
called me a
apologize for
maggot.
that. I apologize for that. MAGA people, MAGA followers. But
okay,
the
thing is this: I just because there's two things we have to agree on. One thing, please. Two things can be true at the same time, even though they contradict each other. I want better things for America. That also means that I can also say I don't idolize Trump.
Every president that has ever ran for president has said that they want good things for America. That is a silly thing to invoke.
No.
I'm
not talking about what he said.
I know.
I'm talking about what I want.
I get it. And you can't justify voting for Trump just saying that you want good things for America. Everybody does. But the thing is, there was one candidate that actually had plans.
How is letting in 20 million illegal immigrants into this country good for America?
I'm so sorry that didn't happen. I'm so sorry.
Wait a minute. It didn't. Wait. You said it didn't happen?
No.
Letting 20 million people into this country?
No.
Illegally didn't happen?
Somehow he's brainwashed a lot of people into thinking this is the case. But I can just pull up data after study after data and show you that it's really roughly about 1.5 million, and that Biden was more strict at the border than Trump, and what we just had was a huge influx of people coming to the border.
Bear with me one moment. I because of the sensitivity of my job, I'm gonna make this very vague statement. I am a contractor for the federal government. I see these numbers.
I highly doubt it. If you said 20 million, I highly doubt it.
You are misinformed. The thing is this: I'm saying 20 million because it's documented in 12. It's at least 12 million. It's documented at least 12 million.
It's not.
So when you think about, sir,
I'll pull it up right now for you.
The thing is this: not only am I a contractor, I am Hispanic.
Good for you, man.
I am part of this
from
community,
the Department of Homeland
and
Security.
I understand how many people are in this country.
Okay, I don't care.
Illegally.
I don't care what your race is or nationality. This is just the data
I'm just
from
trying to
the
give you. I'm trying to give you some type of premise.
I am
as
white,
to why I have
and
the
I
information.
do this all day, and I am self-contracted to do this. So how about that? And how about here's the numbers of what the Department of Homeland Security says we have in this country, and it's about 10.9 million. The last time they did a calculation, which was 2022. This was released August.
But you just said a second ago it was 1.5.
Okay, so this is the total population. So if we go from Trump's numbers, 11.5 million to 11.1 million to 10.5, I'm going to estimate that 2024, if the chart continued, which they will probably next year have these numbers, it will be about 12 million people. That's it. That's all. Because we have Biden's numbers for deportations, and they're fucking way higher than Trump's deportation numbers.
What should I? I'm sorry. What should I call you? I'm
Pickles.
Pickles. You just agreed with exactly what I just said. I said the numbers were 12 million.
You said that he brought in 12 million. 12 million is the total population.
I didn't say anybody brought in 12 million.
Yes, you did. You said 20 at first.
No, I said, well, I'm going to repeat what I said. I said they've allowed. I didn't say anyone brought in.
Okay, nobody's allowed that either.
Allowed 20. Sir, when you have an open border, if you leave your door open and you let people in and you're responsible for not letting people in, you've allowed them in.
Someone already paid to kick you somehow.
Can we agree on that?
No, nobody had an open border.
Can we agree on that?
Nobody had an open border.
Bear with me. Bear with me. If you are allowed to...
Okay. I'm going to finish my thought. Lindsay, thank you so much for the $40 to kick. This guy's Lulu. Don't be so soft. I don't know. I kind of wanted to keep talking to that guy, but here's the truth. Biden had a more strict border. He did expedited removals at a rate of 50% when Trump did them only at a rate of 47. Biden was deporting people to the tune of 56,000 people per month, and Trump is only doing like 30. So it was not open. We were kicking people out of the country on their way in. The numbers prove it. I'm so sorry this is happening to you, MAGA, but you can't make it make sense. You're delusional, and the logic just breaks right down when I say these two things. The logic does not make any sense. The logic doesn't logic. The math doesn't math. You guys are a little delusional, man. You got to figure out which one's true. The border's never been open. We have the same border laws in place that Biden did, in fact, and that Trump had in his first 3 years of presidency. Hello? Jerry, are you there? I don't think you can hear me. Yeah, it's repeated programming. If you, Trump says it himself. If you say things often enough, loud enough, people start to believe it. But they can't make sense of it. It's weird. They're like just like day walking, or they're like sleepwalking towards this idea that there was an open border. And you ask them questions like, "Hey, what law was passed that opened the border?" I don't know. You're gonna tell me. And then they list off these other weird, unrelated facts. And then you say, what happened? Who opened the border? When did it happen? And they can't tell you. They can't put their finger on it. They just know that for sure the border was open. It makes no sense. For sure. CBP-1 was introduced during Trump administration. That is a Trump baby. Try again, Ernest. Chat, tap the screen. If you enjoy these debates, don't forget to give me a follow. Yellow.
Hello?
How old are you?
Old enough?
Fetus alert, chat. Fetus alert. We're gonna eat it. He does owe me 2,000. He owes me 2K. Yellow. Ryan, are you there? Hello? Chat, if you're a Trump supporter, come and debate me. Come tell me why you like Trump. And if you like these debates, I do them every day. Give me a follow. Also, while we have downtime, I don't see anybody else in the box. I have a wish list, and if you guys are trying to help me out, this is one thing that I really so badly want before the tariffs just completely stomp on our dicks. Is this laptop, and it can be crowdfunded. If you guys want to support me, you can donate towards this laptop $1 at a time, or however many dollars you want. But this is in my link tree. I so badly want that laptop. It's kind of egregiously expensive, but I'm not asking any one person to buy it. But I want it so bad. Why was there more crossings during 2021 through 2024 and now? That was a thing. Holy shit, just me. Thank you for the 12-month subscription. People, after the pandemic, countries were facing hardships. So what happens when a country is starting to fail or going through hardships, kind of like Venezuela? People move, people leave because out of poverty breeds crime. And you see things like El Salvador pre-Bukele. You see Venezuela, the state it's in right now. People leave, especially after Trump does things like Trump tried to coup Venezuela unsuccessfully, and then he stopped trading oil with Venezuela, and oil was like 20% of their economy. So their economy ate shit even more. So all of these countries after COVID completely crushed them. People started moving around, and you can see this with satellite imagery. This happened all over the world. And Trump politicized this, and he pointed at Biden and said, hey, look, it's Biden's fault that all these people are coming to the border. When Biden, all he did was let the Border Patrol handle the influx of migration at the border. That's all that happened. Nobody invited them. Fox News said every day that the border was wide open, but that's about it. That's what happened. Besides Trump saying, hey, we're going to give Venezuelans temporary protective status and add them to the TPS list, which might have invited a bunch of people to the border. That's the only thing I would say, like, outside of environmental causes that increased migration. That's it. Now, Trump has come in and he has turned the United States into a country with all sorts of travel warnings. We have even fucking, thank you, Tank, for the $2. We even have Canada giving travel warnings against the U.S. because of the way Trump is handling migration. We even have a negative 11% in tourism because of the way Trump is handling migration and stomping over people's civil rights. That does stop people from coming to the border, but it also hurts the economy, and it also strikes fear into the hearts of Americans who simply maybe enjoy having rights, I guess. We have a travel warning in the UK. How can you compare Trump to Kim Jong-un? Trump is a malignant narcissist who probably doesn't give any two shits about its own people, and is created a dynamic in the White House that's very similar to what Kim Jong-un has. The constant glazing and the optics that they like to have in the press, in the White House briefings, is very eerily giving North Korea. The constant attack on news outlets that criticize him, intertwining religion and governments. Basically, everybody in arm's reach of Trump is not allowed to criticize him or what he does. And they speak to him like he's not human. Oh, Lord Trump, oh, you're gracious, almighty. You can do no wrong. Like, that's what I hear when I see people, most recently, like with the Jesse Waters thing. It's fucking terrifying. Can you imagine one of them being like, Trump, do you really think these tariffs are a good idea? I can literally see Trump being like, oh, yeah, get him out. Fired. Fired. Like the movie The Dictator. We have the White House social media pages referring to Trump as King Trump. Long live the king. I mean, tell me a difference. Tell me a stark difference between the two. I guess that would be a harder question, right? You're gonna be chirping for at least 12 years. There you go. There you go. And there you go. King Trump in the comments. China's ready to talk. That's another thing. Trump lying all the time, and you guys still have trust in the president. Trump lying that he's in talks with China, and China coming out and being like, we're not talking to anybody in the White House. Trump's lying. And you guys are like, whatever. I did see the Pope the Pope AI image. Like, does Trump actually do anything as a president, or is everybody else running the show and Trump's just on social media and golfing all the time? if I was president of the United States, I would not be posting memes on social media. I would not have the time. I would not have the mental bandwidth to be doing memes and antagonizing entire religions with offensive AI videos of Gaza and the Pope with my face superimposed on them. Yeah, that's because I'd be taking my job seriously. What's up, Nemo? The most transparent administration ever. The guy who literally had his White House press secretary say that TikTok, that Amazon's, just them thinking about putting tariffs as a line item at checkout on their store was politically aggressive. The people who want to attack news organizations for criticizing them, they're the most transparent administration ever, guys. Ever. I don't think Trump works for more than 4 hours a day. There's people that have come out that have said that too. His last administration. Roll out of bed at like 11, doesn't shower, doesn't do anything to prepare for his speeches. He basically takes a comb to his hair, gets off the plane, and just fucking wings it. And we can tell he doesn't really say anything substantial in any of his speeches. What's up, Tic Tac?
Hey man, how you doing?
Doing good, bub.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
All right. So you said something, and I think there's a lot of truth to it. I think you said, what does Trump do? Does he even do anything? Is he just sit around and make meat? I think there's a lot of truth to that, man. I honestly thought I thought he was at least smart enough to implement fascism in this country. And then the other day, I saw his reaction to that MS-13 picture. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on. People are lying to him. And he's just like, okay, and going along. Like, I didn't think he was smart like a fucking evil genius, but I thought he at least knew what fascism was and how to implement within the country, the people to set up, put in place, the judges. Like, I thought that was kind of his doing. It's not, man. This old fuck can't even distinguish the difference between MS Paint and MS-13.
Yeah.
I honestly think he's just doing what he's being told. Like, he traded America for a get out of jail free card.
Yeah, I can believe that.
White Christian nationalists went to him and said, hey, we'll keep you out of prison if you give us the country. And he's not aware of how much, well, I think he does. He is aware of how much harm he's causing, but he doesn't care. I don't think he understands the implications of this. Like, this is going to change the world. You know what I mean? That's just, I don't know, maybe I'm being paranoid.
Yeah, I think they're writing on the fact that Trump has a cult of personality, like people following him, and will co-sign whatever he does. And they're just implementing Project 2025 with no bumpers, no guardrails whatsoever. They're just doing everything, and all the billionaires that are in their positions in his administration are pulling the levers however they see fit for them. And then Trump's just golfing. Trump, like, who, like,
Yep.
with the like record amount of executive orders being signed every day and the record amount of golfing Trump is doing, Trump's not sitting here like, he's not sitting around being like, all right, guys, what are we doing? What are we doing today? No, he's golfing and he's checking into the White House and he's signing EOs that they made for him. That's about it.
Yeah, and they're explaining the EOs to him as he's signing.
Yeah.
This one does this, or
This one is getting a new waffle iron in the break room.
Yep.
Like, he doesn't
They do
care.
need that cappuccino machine.
Yeah. By the way, you sold 32 pardons today. These are their names.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that's $32 million, $1 million a pop.
Yep.
So yeah, that's my conspiracy theory. After like thinking about it, I saw the whole interview where he was insistent on that those are MS-13 tattoos. This isn't an opinion. This is clearly said. I was like, he has no idea what's happening. Like they're just puppet mastering this guy, and I don't know who it is yet. I think it's Steve Miller. I don't know yet.
Steve Miller, I mean, you brought it up the other day how Steve Miller just blatantly lied to Trump with the 9-0 decision. He's like, it was in our favor. Like, Trump doesn't know better. Trump is profoundly dumb. You guys see that, chat? What Steve Miller was like, yeah, the 9-0 Supreme Court ruling was in our favor, and Trump's like, very good. All right, I have a tea time at 7 a.m. Like, he doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, he's just gonna go along. They're gonna implement martial law because of all the immigrants coming in, attacking our country, invading our country. They're gonna go through all the steps necessary. They're lining it up, and I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just who's behind the curtain at this point? Because this sure shit ain't Trump. Yeah. You don't understand the difference between, man. They should have just they could have done that with a Sharpie, and he would have been like, "Yep, that's legit."
Yeah.
I don't know. I would kill some time until somebody else came up here, but nobody else is good. A lot of people are calling me soy boys and shit like that in the chat. Come on up here, man. Let's talk about it.
I love it.
Yeah. Russell Vaught, yeah, definitely Russell Vaught. He's the guy that's in charge of Project 2025.
Yeah, he's the architect of it.
He's the head honcho there.
Yeah.
And then what's he do for us? He's on the administration. I think he's oversight of.
He's the budget guy. He's the budget guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's oversight of budget committee, isn't he?
Yeah.
Good stuff. You having a good weekend so far?
Yeah, pretty good. We got a ice cream. We got a fridge full of ice cream. Probably gonna go on like a little climbing date tonight. Go to the gym, do some climbing. I don't know, just hanging out, just being awesome as fuck.
Have you seen those ice cream makers? They've been putting on my FYP like crazy.
No, they'll probably show up soon though.
They have it's essentially a bucket that you put in the fridge, or I'm sorry, you put it in the freezer for overnight, and then it attaches to your KitchenAid. You pour your ingredients in there, like your heavy creams and stuff, and then it makes ice cream. And then you put like cookie dough and Oreos and all that shit. You just make your own ice cream, man. I know. It's homemade ice cream.
Oh boy!
All right, I'm gonna get one. I've been talking to my wife about it.
All right, we got debates.
We got 4 people in queue. Want to bounce? Good luck.
All right, girl.
Do you want me to stay?
You can hang.
This fucking guy.
Hello.
All right. What's up, bub?
Yeah. So I just don't understand why the sentiment about you guys saying that the Trump administration is doing bad right now, which I disagree. I think they're doing really well when it comes to like international trade, when it comes to our national security, and like why should we like keep illegal immigrants in this country? Like what?
Nobody's fighting for that. You said they're doing good with national security, but we've had like the biggest national security leak since like Watergate, or since anything, since Hillary's emails recently, Signalgate.
A text message is not the same as the
battle
Watergate
plans.
scandal.
It absolutely is. Texting
Like,
battle plans to random people in the public. Yeah, pretty bad.
that's not the same level. That's not the same level whatsoever.
It's absolutely the same level. Yes, using an app that you
it's
download from
not.
the Google store to transfer classified information and battle plans that before they're implemented absolutely is a failure of national security in the biggest sense I could possibly think. And that's
All
what
right,
you
but
get when you
Watergate was
hire
not
a
a
Fox
national
News
security
guy to run
crisis.
Department of Defense. It's what you get.
I just refuse to believe that because like you guys are conflating the whole Watergate scandal with
It's worse. It's by far worse than Watergate. It's like
No, it's
70 times
not.
worse. Yeah.
By far away.
Yeah.
No.
Do you know what the Watergate scandal was?
It was literally
It's
political.
when some dudes broke into the DNC headquarters.
Yeah, it's when a political party broke in and recorded another political party. That's not putting our national security at risk.
Absolutely is. What are you talking
How?
about? Because when you leak other like political, strategies to other people, they're gonna
It
know
was
what.
for an election. They
Yeah,
were
yeah,
leaking political
and
strategies on how
and
to
we
get
Like the
elected.
opponents of that
yeah,
party
yeah,
were
and
domestic. The opponents of the people in the war plans were not domestic. They're T groups.
I just don't think it's the same level of
Yeah,
insanity.
you're right. It's a thousand
Yeah, it's
times
much
worse.
worse.
If the whole public knew the Democrats' strategy for how to win an election, I don't think anybody would die, but people would definitely die if they knew about war plans we
Wait,
had.
okay. Wait, was it a national security threat when Biden left all those troops in Afghanistan?
You mean when Trump did that?
No, it was Biden. It was under Biden.
No, so Trump made that deal. Trump's the one who did that.
Okay, and Biden could have
And
just
he
not
he
listened to it.
kicked the can down the street, and Biden inherited this problem when Trump left office and didn't give a peaceful transfer of power. He didn't tell Biden anything. Biden had to do all sorts of he had all sorts of agencies do investigations just to see what the fuck was going on with Afghanistan. And it turns out that Trump made all of these negotiations with the Taliban without the Afghan government at the table, which was fucking weird. And then he invited them to Camp David on the anniversary of 9/11, which was also fucking weird. And he said they would have these troops home by
He didn't have to
Christmas.
execute. He didn't have to execute the plan.
Okay, so
If you
when Biden got into office, there were 2,500 troops chilling in Afghanistan. That dwindled down from like 13,000 from when Trump was in office. So Trump said they were all going to be home by Christmas. And when Christmas rolled around, we still had 2,500 troops there. Trump had no plan on getting them out, and then kicked the can down the road to Biden because Trump was too busy throwing a baby back bitch fit about losing the election, so he didn't get it finished. And
there were no there were
he had a
no new
withdrawal
wars
date
under
of
Trump.
May 1st. He had a withdrawal date of May 1st. So Biden comes in the office, has no idea what's going on, has to do all sorts of investigations with the FBI, the DOD, the CIA. Everyone had to figure out what was going on. And Biden said, okay, it looks like that Trump tried to introduce more troops to strengthen our position before the withdrawal, and that was a stalemate. And Biden said, listen, I'm going to get everyone home by September 11th. And guess what? He did. He actually kept up to his word. And what happened was when Trump forced the Afghan government to release 5,000 Taliban prisoners from their prisons against their will, he put their foot on their neck and made them do it. Those 5,000 Taliban prisoners went out and broke more prisoners out of jail, out of prison, that were from ISIS-K. That ISIS-K person that was released from jail because of Trump's actions, he sewer slide bombed 13 soldiers. That's how it happened. Has nothing to do with Biden.
Okay, well, would you say that Biden starting more wars and outweighs what happened with Trump?
Biden has nothing to do with the wars that happen across the world.
Yes, he did.
What do you do?
Absolutely, he did.
What do you have to do with Ukraine?
You,
Tell me the position Trump would have that would have stopped the Ukraine war from starting
yeah. So if you just look, okay, first of all, if you just look at his first term,
yeah,
he
this
had
doesn't
no
say
new.
anything. This
Okay, I
doesn't
mean
mean
it
anything.
does
It's a
because if he
coincidence.
hadn't, I mean if no, it's not. It's obviously
Okay,
not.
so Trump coming out and saying that he can't fix it and it's a long way from being
He
resolved at this
fixed it.
point.
He fixed it
Oh, how do you do that?
by just having a good relationship with other leaders and them not aggravating them like what Biden did, saying like, "Oh, we need to put more troops. You gotta Russia stop."
So
But
Trump stopped it with what? A tweet? What do you do?
he had good relations with the leaders.
Okay,
That's how diplomacy
so you're
works.
saying that Ukraine and Russia are no longer at war.
Well, I mean, they still are.
Okay, so he didn't fix it.
No, because Biden started it. That's why.
Biden didn't start anything. Russia is literally attacking its sovereign country
Yeah, well,
neighbor.
he added fuel to the fire.
How did he do
Uh,
that?
because when Ukraine wanted to join NATO, Biden was like, "Yeah, come along," and
That's not a
Russia
thing that
didn't want
happened.
that. Yes, it did.
Yeah, this
Ukraine wanted
war's
to
been
join
It's
this
NATO
not a thing that happened that Biden
this
did
war's been
anything.
going on since 2014. I don't know where you're getting this
under
started
the
under
Democrats,
Biden.
under the Democrats. Just
Oh,
letting you know.
so it's switching now? It didn't start under Biden?
Was started under
Okay,
the
cool.
Democrats. I mean, it started under the
No,
Democrats.
it started in 2014 when Russia attacked Ukraine.
And who
Had
was
nothing to do
under?
with Demo.
Who was under?
Why does a Democratic or Republican Party in America have anything to do with what's going on with the European
Because
war?
obviously there's different policies for the different political parties, right? The Democrats want to engage in, just more intervention, while the Republicans want to pull out and they say, let's
So
focus on America.
make it make sense. So you're saying Trump would have stopped these things from happening by having an American first non-interventionalist position? That makes no sense at all.
I said that he had good relations with other leaders.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything. He literally hasn't been mean at all to Putin, and has stood his ground and said, "Hey, Putin, you better not do all these bad things." He has not done that once. In fact, he's only been mean to our allies.
I don't even think it's our problem to what's happening in Ukraine. Like, why does it even matter in the first place?
So now you're pivoting to saying, okay, well now he shouldn't do anything. So yes, Putin is much stronger with someone in power in our government that has all the pundits like you behind him saying, we shouldn't interfere. We should let Putin do whatever the fuck he wants. You're saying now that's the better position.
It's not our problem.
Okay, so now you're completely backpedaling.
I'm not backpedaling on anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, under what presidency would they more likely be aggressive under? A Biden presidency who rallied 50 countries together to come aid Ukraine, or under a presidency where Trump says, "Not my problem"? Which one would they more likely be aggressive under?
Who? Russia?
Yeah.
Obviously under Biden. Yes, they did. They're absolutely more
coincidentally.
Under Biden.
But now they're lining up at Lithuania's border.
Why is everything coincidentally? Why can't you say that Biden caused it? Why are you like pivoting to that? Like, oh, it's just coincidence. No, it's not. It's Biden's
They're about
policy
to invade Lithuania right now. Okay. Now are we going to call Trump weak now that when they do that?
No, because it's not Trump's fault.
Oh, okay.
No, but it was Biden's fault when Russia invaded
But it
Ukraine.
has to do with the Democrats or Republicans being in parties or
because
being in charge in America,
I said earlier that the Democrats have a terrible form.
Hey man, your arguments are horrible. Why don't you stop pretending to be dumb and just learn something right now?
Like, hey man, can you support socialism? Do you support socialism, man?
Yeah, 100%. You can continue to be dumb, or you can just ask questions and learn shit. Which one do you think would be best for you?
Well, I mean, being conservative is being self-educated, being, just educated in every way. I feel like the deep state,
What's self-educated mean?
It means that you don't listen to what the government is telling you to do, and you listen
Do you read?
to what you... Yes, I can read.
Do you read books?
Obviously. I mean, I'm conservative. I'm educated.
What books do you suggest we read?
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Oh, Robert Kiyosaki. I've already read it. It has nothing to do with conservatism.
Yes, it does. Fiscal conservatism. Yeah, investing. Not get it. What do you support the welfare state? Do you support giving money?
I get it, man. He used to make nickels when he was a kid until he got in trouble by his dad because he learned he couldn't make money.
Yeah, it's a good investing book. You should read it. Maybe you should read it and you'll learn.
I did, dude. I am literally telling you a story from the book, and if you don't realize that, clearly you've never read the book.
Oh, I have read the book, and
he got in trouble. He got in trouble as a kid because he took the little electrical outlet plugs that they push out, and he drew on them and tried to make them into nickels. That was his first lesson with money. You don't remember that lesson in the book? Holy fuck, dude! I haven't read the book.
I remember. I'm
teaching you about.
No. I read the book yesterday, and you know what I learned is that you don't listen to the rat race. Clearly. You don't listen to the rat race. That's what you learned. You don't listen to what the government is telling you. They're trying to basically brainwash you to becoming employees.
Yeah, cool. Good. Give me a book. Give me a book that I should read on conservatism that will like give us your ideologies.
Yeah, just read any book that Donald Trump has written, and you'll
don't
learn
listen to your
like
government. Yet listen to the leader of our government.
Well, no, Trump is a businessman. He's a businessman.
Okay.
He's an outsider. He's an outsider. Do you not realize that? He's not a regular politician. He's literally the working class.
He's literally the most politician-y person of all time. He's endorsing half the people in Congress. He's pressuring everybody involved in the government to bend to his will. He's the most politician person of all time.
Billionaires.
He is one of the
billionaires in his administration.
Name me 5 of them. Name me 5 of them. Go.
Sure. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk.
Jeff Bezos is not in the
what's
government. What are you talking about? Name me what
he's
what
part
Okay.
he's part of his
Okay.
advisory, isn't he?
No, he's not. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay. I might be wrong. I might be wrong with that one.
There's
then.
one named Felon, Felan.
Who's Felon? What? What are you
Yeah,
talking
it's somebody who's over the Navy. He had Linda McMahon as Department of Education.
Yeah, I was gonna say Linda McMahon, Vince McMahon's wife.
Yeah, he has. I bet Russ Vought's a billionaire. I would also say that Brendan Carr. I'm pretty sure just about everybody in his administration that he appointed through Congress is. He had Elon Musk and what's his name?
No, Elon Musk is doing pretty good right now, so I wouldn't really mind that. So
okay, well he's there.
Yeah, Elon Musk is literally a Yahtzee.
He's not a Yahtzee.
Yeah, you know the ADF, the party that he was fronting for during their election.
What the Common Sense Party in Germany?
Yeah, the German government just came out and deemed them a terrorist organization.
Yeah, Germany is a social democratic state. They're left-wing socialists. What do you? Of course,
Yeah,
they're gonna name.
do you think Germany might know a little something about far right-wing authoritarianism?
Well, maybe because they've been brainwashed by the far left that now they just see anyone who is conservative as a T group.
Okay, or
no, the rest of the world is saying these guys are Yahtzees. And
who is
Elon
saying
Musk
that?
is
Who is saying
backing
that?
them.
The far left parties in what you're talking about, Labor and all these free healthcare parties, what for welfare state? You really think that they're gonna look at a conservative common sense party and say, oh yeah, I agree with that? No, they're not. They see them as a T group. They don't care about freedom. They don't care about.
Have you seen the speech that Musk gave that party when he Zoom called in?
No, I haven't seen it. No, I haven't seen it.
The gist of the gist of it was literally just nativist like bullshit Yahtzee propaganda. Like, don't be ashamed of your country's past. Like, that's literally all he said in a nutshell. What do you think that alludes to?
I think he's talking about economic. I don't think he's talking about the whole World War II thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's an economics guy, of course.
Yeah, so you could be ashamed of your country's economic history? Give me a fucking break.
No, he's not alluding to World War II. He's talking about Germany economically. It was great back then.
Bro, man, what's your favorite pair of tap shoes? What's your favorite brand?
I don't have one. I don't have one. What are you talking about? I don't wear shoes.
You just tap dancing around all these fucking questions. That's my
I'm
point.
not tap dancing around anything. I answered everything you guys have said, and you guys are just leftist, typical leftist, propaganda that you guys are spewing. You guys don't know anything about economics. I actually do because I'm self-educated. I read a bunch of books. You guys have no idea what it comes to.
Name one.
I said Rich Dad Poor Dad. I said that earlier.
That's not a book on economics. That's
yes, it is. Yes,
that's literally a dude telling you how he got money.
Yes,
no,
it is.
It isn't.
It's investing. It's investing. It's investing, and it's talking about
Bro,
escaping the rat
race. It's investing from 25 years ago. If you're getting investment advice from 25 years ago, you're already losing the game.
The stock market hasn't changed. What are you talking about?
What?
If you talk. Yes.
Okay.
There's literally AI programs that invest in stocks for you now. We don't need a fucking 20-year-old book to teach us.
It doesn't matter. You guys are just coming up here and talking about we should give people free healthcare, free money, free all this. You don't want to work. There's no incentive to work with you in your guys' ideology.
No, we're the richest country on earth, and we should have universal healthcare like all the other developed nations.
Universal healthcare is not a good system. It's not a good system, hands down.
Okay.
You guys can't convince me it's not.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
If you think people waiting in wait lines for 10 years is a good system, then I don't know what you guys.
And that's what you're advocating for, because I've literally been waiting for 10 years to have healthcare, bud.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is.
To pay for it?
You're gonna tell me I don't know what I'm talking about?
No, do you have money to pay for your healthcare?
My brother, I have to pay for my own healthcare. Yes, and I have a brother that literally has a condition that needs to be taken care of. He's been sitting around for 10 years. If he lived in Canada, it'd be done.
No, in Canada it'd be like 10-year wait. What are you talking about?
No, it would be like a 90-day wait.
90-day wait is still so much.
No, people
you know,
wait
for-
Still
forever.
so much. Hey man,
So
you know how long it takes me to get into my neurologist?
how much? How
16
long?
months. 16 months. I made an appointment for 2026.
Well, Americans
Back in
like the private
2024.
insurance.
Hey, back in 2024, I made an appointment for my neurologist in 2026.
Okay.
And that's private insurance, bud. So I
mean,
don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I mean,
Specialists
you could
take years to get into. You have to see a specialist within this company or within this country. You have to wait 6 months to get you can typically get into your primary care fairly quicker, 2 weeks to a month, and then you have to see a specialist, which is at least 6 months out. And if that specialist isn't the correct specialist, he'll send you to another specialist, which is another 6 months out. So you're months from getting diagnosed because you have to go through different specialists instead of having a universal healthcare program where we can streamline this process. And guess what?
Preventive health
Everybody gets to go to the doctor. That's the point.
You know, you're talking about a percent of a percent, like less than like a percent of those cases happen where like 90% of people in America, we like our private insurance. We want to keep it
it's
this
not
way.
a percent of a percent.
Nobody.
How it works.
It is a huge cope in any stretch of the imagination to say people prefer their $6,000 or $12,000 deductible and their like multiple $100 month. It's not more efficient. People pay twice as much here for shittier outcomes. It's literally math. It's not an opinion.
See, the thing is,
we pay twice as much for shittier outcomes. It's literally the math. There's no disputing it. It's not an opinion. It's literally the math.
I mean, you can say whatever you want, but at the end of the day, we're
not saying it's fucking experts.
We don't want socialism. The thing is, we don't want socialism.
It's not socialism.
Yes,
universal healthcare isn't socialism.
Government-run healthcare is a socialist.
It is not.
Socialist. Yes, it is.
What's the definition of socialism, Pumpkin?
When the government owns like a bunch of like industries.
Nope.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Nope.
You define it then. If you know
when the workers, when the proletariat own the means of production.
Oh, so whenever the government owns things, huh? That's what I just said.
Do you know what a proletariat is?
It's the middle class.
Yeah, a proletariat is the worker. When the proletariat, the worker, owns the means of production, the means of production,
not the government,
but
the people.
Not the government. Didn't say the government. Didn't even say the state.
Oh wait.
I said when the proletariat owns the means of production. So when the workers own the shit that we need to make shit. That's the dumbest way I can say it for you to understand.
Okay. How did that happen in Asia, in China, and North Korea?
You mean the people who were so scared about running the world? They're the people that are going to be so successful that we're scared of them right now? Those people?
They're under a socialist system right now.
You mean the ones who that have solved homelessness?
They're not beating us. They have poor...
Then why is Trump tariffing them right now?
Because he wants to put America first. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Well,
yeah,
you know China, they solved homelessness. They have like a 0.7% homeless rate in their country.
And that comes at the expense of people's success. They tax people if they're successful.
What? You think billionaires don't exist in China?
I mean, they exist. Yeah.
Oh, so there are successful people in China, huh? And they were still able to give everybody houses.
Don't you not want billionaires? You socialists?
No,
don't you not want?
Fuck billionaires.
Oh, so I thought China was
bet
all
they're
great.
delicious.
I thought China
delicious.
I thought China was so good. I thought China was so good with the socialism.
Garlic butter.
I mean, okay, but socialism doesn't work. You have to realize that it does not work.
You literally just found out what socialism was.
Because I know I define what socialism is.
Why are we so scared of China? We're so scared of China because they're about to beat us. They're beating us in the technological race. They're ahead of us in technology.
Nope.
Okay, then.
He's literally got his hands over his
Name an
ears
industry
right now.
that we are more advanced than China. Then, go ahead. Name an industry that we're beating China in. Go ahead.
Yeah, freedom. Freedom.
Freedom's not an industry.
Freedom is an industry. It's called having freedom of speech.
How do you manufacture freedom, bud? How do you sell that?
We can have freedom. We have freedom.
Liberal destroyer.
Cool.
You're absolutely being so disingenuous, and you are, I'm sorry to say it, getting destroyed.
I'm not getting destroyed. You guys just don't understand what socialism is. You guys don't read economic
You just misdefined it.
What are you talking about? It's when the government owns things. That's what
That's not
socialism
true.
is.
That's literally the opposite of the truth, and that is
So why does it wait?
incoherent.
So wait. So why does Vietnam call themselves socialist, but the government runs everything?
Because the definition of socialism isn't where you have nationalized industries. It's when you have the people own the means of productions.
And why Vietnam
Yeah, the
calls themselves
government
Vietnam calls themselves
the
socialist,
government
but
doesn't
everything's
run
government
everything
run.
there.
What are you talking about? Yes,
No,
they do.
it's
Yes, they
not.
do. Yes, they do.
Hey, why are you repeating yourself? Instead of let it, you said yes they do, and then you stop and let me speak instead of just continuously repeating yes you
I
do
mean,
and
you're wrong,
stopping me
but
from
okay,
speaking.
keep going.
That's really weird. So it's not that they own everything. They did nationalize their natural resources. That's part of socialism too.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what you're gonna hear.
So
The government owns that.
they own the natural resources, but like the products and the shit that are built in the factories, that's typically owned by the workers, man. They at
No,
least
it's
have
not.
a
No,
portion.
it's not.
They at least.
Could you imagine if we nationalized oil?
This is really weird.
I mean, we wouldn't have any money.
You're just the whole time you're doing the
We would be
pterodactyl
so
dude
rich.
thing. Nuh-uh. It's fucking weird.
We would be literally so rich if we nationalized our oil. Are you fucking shitting my dick?
So you want the government to control every single industry now?
Yeah, that means we do.
I want
That
them
means
to
just oil.
control our
Nope.
natural resources.
The
Just
government
oil.
owns it. That means we don't have any say. It's gonna become communism again.
You're silly. When the government does things, it's because we told them to.
No, it's when the government does things. It's because they want they want to.
Hey, liberal, this is what you're advocating for. You want to take our natural resources. Let's say in Arizona, there's a ton of copper. Instead of using those natural resources for the people in Arizona or for America, you want to allow private businesses to come in and take all the profits from that natural resource within our state and use it to their benefit to buy bigger houses and bigger boats. That's what you're advocating for. We would like the government to take control of the natural resources and allocate it to the people of the state. That's it.
That would make all
That's
of us.
not the government owning everything.
That would be us.
That's taking control of the natural resources
you
only.
you guys are getting it wrong, and I'll tell you why. Because when you allow more capitalism into these industries, and when you allow more freedom and investment, you can have a bigger GDP. You can have more
I get
political
it.
and economic freedom.
But there's things we don't need to have those incentives, and we don't need to commoditize. So like things like maybe water. Like we've already done this with water, right? Like we just have like the government figure out how to filter water. We don't need 1,000 companies competing and like some of them making extra profits and having someone like getting rich between me and being able to live and drink water. Right? It's better that way.
I mean, not really. No.
Okay.
I
believe in capitalism. I believe in having profit motives all day when it comes to other things, but energy is energy. We don't need somebody inventing ways to make more money off of energy and having us run less efficiently.
No, we need more we need to deregulate and denationalize everything. We just need to have like a more incentive to basically like make your dream come true.
You just have no nuance. Like I believe that some of those things make sense, but we can nationalize things that make no sense to commoditize. Like it's fucking dumb.
So do you want to nationalize healthcare?
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. Let me ask you a question though. Let's say we do like what you're saying, and companies not from America, but companies from Australia, South Africa, the United Kingdom, they are the ones that come in and they take our copper and our oil and our natural resources, and they take all those profits to a different country, because that's what's happening, my guy. Like you don't understand. It's not American companies that are benefited from this stuff. It's literally South African companies and Australian companies that are coming in and mining our materials. And you're okay with that?
That's what the tariffs are for, no?
No, the tariffs don't do anything.
They're in our country.
When they come here and they took all of our energy and oil, and they take all those profits back to their country, the tariffs do not stop that at all.
Yes, they do. They make them manufacture in America.
You're literally missing the point. I can't believe you're sitting here preaching to us that you know economics when you can't understand what I'm saying.
I do understand.
Imagine me being South African and coming to your state, drilling all of the oil out of your ground, selling it to you, making a profit, and taking that money back home. Tariffs don't stop me from doing that, dude.
Yes, they do. What are you talking about?
Where are the tariffs? Where are the tariffs in this process? Tell me.
It's when you buy things and you tariff it.
Oh my fucking goddamn, dude. What?
Wait, yeah, tariffs. Do you
Are
not
we
know what a tariff
speaking
is?
to
In
a
that
rock?
exact
Are you a fucking
instance,
rock?
in that exact scenario I just gave you, tell me exactly where the tariffs are and how they've changed the way I do business. Go ahead.
I just explained it to you. When you buy things, right?
That
The
doesn't explain
importer pays
anything.
it. Yeah, yes, it is. The
Tell me
importer
when
pays
I
it.
buy things, what things in that scenario? Say I'm a South African person and I come here, I start an oil company, I drill into your fucking state's ground, I pull all the oil out, I sell it to you, I take the profits and I go back home. At what stage are the tariffs? Where do I pay a tariff? Go ahead and tell me.
When
At what
you
stage?
when you buy the things, when the company buys the things,
What things?
you
Tell
pay
me
the
what
tariff.
things.
The oil.
So when my company buys the oil, that they mean the oil that I'm extracting from the ground, I'm not buying it.
Yes, you are. What are you talking
No, I'm
about?
not. I'm literally drilling the oil and taking it.
No, you're
I've
not.
already
When you,
purchased. I've already purchased the lease. The lease has been paid. Everything after that is on me. I get it. It's mine.
no,
I'm from South Africa.
no,
I'm
it's
taking all
not.
this oil.
All
That's
right,
that's
then
that's literally how it works.
Dude,
if you have a
Jesus
problem, I mean,
fucking
if you have a
Christ.
problem,
You're
if you
this
have a
close
problem,
from being kicked, bro. What are you talking about?
because you guys just don't understand that.
And I,
We need to just
what?
create a
I'm gonna
nationalist.
have an aneurysm. I swear to God.
We need to have a nationalist country. You guys just don't understand. You guys just advocate for communism.
I don't think you
I just
can.
don't
So
agree with
you
that.
want to nationalize everything?
No,
You want to nationalize everything then?
we need to deregulate everything in this economy.
You don't understand what the word you're using. You don't
You
understand
want
it.
to
You don't know what a
deregulate, yet you
nationalist.
want
You
to
don't.
tariff everything.
Well, I
Got
think
it.
I know more than you guys. I think
Got
I
it.
know more than
You
you
want to
guys. So
deregulate everything, yet you want tariffs. Got it.
no, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying it's freedom for Americans, freedom for the American company that you sell it in the United States and not you don't export your jobs to another country. You guys just don't understand that 'cause you guys are a bunch of liberal sissies. You guys don't understand how economics works. You guys are just a bunch of fools. You guys don't understand
Liberal,
anything.
you're just saying a bunch of mean words when we all know, everyone listening have now discovered that you really don't know what you're saying, man.
Absolutely not.
You
We've
got
all
caught with your
figured this
pants
out by
down
now,
up here,
man.
bud.
If you
So,
guys want communism, then I don't know what to say to you
hey,
guys. That's
can you say economics again?
economics. What are you talking about? Can you guys actually
Does that come in by the dozen?
do you guys understand how like money works? Because I feel you guys don't.
No,
Liberal Destroyer,
no, I
you're
don't.
not going to grandstand on a sentence like, do you understand how money works? When you've just illustrated to my entire audience of 1,200 plus people that you don't understand what a tariff is, man.
I know what a tariff is. You guys just don't. You're not listening to me.
Hmm.
You guys don't listen to me at all. You guys just talk
No,
over
I
me.
understand economics, so I get tariffs.
Hey, Lego my economics.
If you want communism, then go for it. I'm not gonna stop you, but you guys are just wrong. You guys are just playing
You
wrong.
don't know what communism is either.
I know what communism is.
You think
I know what
communism is the same thing as socialism is?
I mean, it pretty much is, yeah. When you want free everything, government run everything.
Liberal Destroyer, I've had you up for 30 minutes. I think we've got the gist of it. You want to come
You're
back
a
some other
communist,
time?
bro. No, I don't want to talk to you. You're a communist.
No one here's I mean, Tic Tac might be. I'm not a communist.
Tic Tac, are you a communist?
Nope, not yet.
I mean, you guys are both advocating for, you know, the unaliving of freedom, basically. So go for it. I don't care. You guys are just wrong, plain
Dude,
wrong.
multiple watchdog organizations are raising the alarms on the administration in the White House right now for taking away people's freedoms. You are literally backwards in every sense of the word.
That's not true.
Hey man, before you go, if you really do like reading, there's a really good, it's a short essay by Albert Einstein called Why Socialism. It's like, I think it's like 13 pages.
I mean,
Super
Albert
short.
Einstein.
Albert
Einstein is not that smart.
Albert Einstein was a legit socialist.
Albert Einstein.
Did you say Albert Einstein's not that smart?
Yeah.
He's not. He's a liberal.
He's one of the most brilliant minds to ever live.
Oh, and he wants
Fucking
communism.
wild.
What are you talking about? He's literally a communist, dude. He wants everything to
Books,
be
dude.
taken away.
Fucking read books. Read books.
He advocated for the brainwashing of kids.
You mean church?
No. I'm a conservative Christian, so you don't dare
So
talk about my church.
yeah, that's the brainwashing of children.
I'm not. Do you think
Well,
evolution is
Satan.
real? Do you think evolution is real?
There's a lot
I
of
think
evidence
Satan told me.
for
Satan
evolution.
told me
Yeah.
to tell you that the world is not flat, and it wasn't. It wasn't made 6,000 years ago.
I mean,
Satan came to me and he
you don't
said,
talk to God.
he
I'm a
said,
Christian. I'm a
he said,
God-fearing
he said,
Christian.
"Hail, Satan! The world
Mhm.
is not 6,000 years old."
The world is at least 1,000 years old. That's for a fact.
You believe in a young
No, I
Earth?
said 6,000.
Do I what? Believe
You
in
believe in a
younger?
young Earth? 6,000-year-old Earth?
I think the Earth is flat and that everyone on it is made by God.
You're a flat earther?
I'm a flat earther, dude. There's no evidence to
Wait.
show.
You probably believe in the
I love
moon
this for
too,
you,
don't
chat.
you?
He does have Charlie Kirk as his profile picture, and I love this for
Charlie
everybody
Kirk's a
right now.
genius, and you
I love
guys
this
are
for
just
everyone right now.
a bunch of pretend to be scientists. You guys don't actually know what you're talking about. You guys think that what a sperm became a whale, huh?
All right.
You think that?
He's
I bet you
trolling
do.
us, dude.
Literally, sperms do become whale. What?
No, they do not. No, they do not. If you think a
How do you
human
think
becomes
whales are born?
whales are born through egg hatching, dude.
And what does an egg become
All
fertilized by
right,
something?
he's wasting.
It goes into my pan and into my tummy. That's it.
All right. All right, guys. All right. Tic Tac, I'm gonna go back to
He
one
killed
v
my
ones too.
buzz, bro.
I love you.
All right, man.
All right.
Take care. Be safe, y'all.
Host ran. If anybody's interested in seeing a conversation go beyond the fact that the guy said that people are made in someone's, the thing you said about whales and the tummy, I'm sorry, go watch cartoons. This is not that show. Go watch cartoons, man. Chat, follow the stream if you enjoy these debates. Yes, whale eggs. Yeah, aren't whales mammals? I guess mammals have. Whatever, dude. Hello? Hello? They have live birth? Okay. Whales do not hatch eggs. Okay, thank you. I mean, they might have an egg in the process, but they're not probably hard shell eggs, man. I'm sure there's a sperm that penetrate a female whale's egg. Thank you, the Happy Hoosier. Thank you so much for the subscription. Thank you, Bookish. Thank you so much for the sub as well. Who else did I miss? There were some really good ones. Russell, thank you. Russell Check, thank you for the sub. Lemon for the 3 months. Just me with the 12 month. I love that so much. Pickles is so far to me. Tanner, you're a goofball. I've seen you chirping for a while. You're a goofball. Shiggy Diggy with the Galaxy. Appreciate you. Hello? Scott? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Oh, yeah, I'm here. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, you got a lot of wind going on.
Sorry, I'm outside working on the farm. Hey, I just wanted to bring up for the last guest the way Alaska essentially socialized their natural resources there and the dividends that folks get. And so I think when people talk about that point, you should ask them if they like the way that Alaska shares profits.
And isn't Alaska red?
And pays dividends. Super red. Super fucking red.
Oh, man, make it make sense.
I'm an environmental scientist. I've actually worked on Alaska natural gas and oil drilling projects. And yeah, no, they love their dividends there. A lot of the folks, especially in the rural parts of the state, depend on those dividends for part of their annual income. And yeah, I would love to see that with all of our industries. I think America's resources belong to America, not private corporations. So I think mining, oil and gas, and timber should all be nationalized, and we should use the funds from those things to pay for social programs. We could solve healthcare, homelessness, everything.
You're talking so
There's
dirty.
literally nothing
You're
that
talking
wouldn't
so
be
dirty
solved
right now. Thank you,
dude. And like I'm, I have a farm, I have a small business, and I'm all for entrepreneurship. Like, go ahead, do your thing, like make your product, innovate. But at the same time, if things belong to the commons, let's use them for the common good.
Yes, yes. Just because we nationalize one thing doesn't mean we're gonna trip and fall and nationalize fucking everything. Chill out, y'all.
Correct.
Thank you. Thank you,
I'm
Scott.
also a veteran, and I'm a veteran, and I can speak to how much socialized healthcare and education has saved me from financial ruin. It is what I wish for absolutely everybody, regardless of if they served or not. A more educated and healthy population is a more prosperous population. There is no other way to define it. Every study that you could ever look at will tell you that exact same thing. It is empirically backed. People just, we need to get better at messaging on that.
Yeah.
And I really think if we could nationalize those things, pay for those social programs, that's the track that I want to see us on.
Thank you.
So yeah, that's all I want to say.
All right, I appreciate
appreciate all you do.
Absolutely. Have a good one, and thank you for your service.
You too. Oh yeah.
Sorry, I cut him off there. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's dumb. People have a phobia. I had someone use this on me the other day, but they said I have a phobia to dictatorships. I think y'all have a phobia to nationalized things that are just fucking common sense. Like, we're not asking for everything to be nationalized. We could be a mixed economy. Just because you are brainwashed into thinking all communism, all socialism, all so bad, it's going to be the end of the world. Motherfucker, if you prefer some Saudi Arabian prince to be taking all of the oil out of our ground, that's your dumbassery, not mine. That's your beliefs. Most happiest places on earth have free healthcare, yeah. And the only response from MAGA I'm seeing in like YouTube's like, you trust the government? Yeah, dude. Yeah. You trust them too. You trust Trump when he's doing fucking straight up surgery on all of these things to make our country less effective in every way. You trust the government too, in your own way. I trust the fact that we could have a system of checks and balances, and that we could have a group of people all looking at each other, making sure one person isn't going around doing some crazy shit. It's been happening for a long time, and we have evidence of it. I have never been so sure that there's no fraud in the government, little to no fraud, after seeing how little Doge has uncovered. There's not a single instance of fraud, not a single fucking instance of fraud that Doge has uncovered. Not a single one. Unless you know something I don't, I haven't seen one single instance of fraud. And I have never felt so sure about the government being good at whatever it does. Yeah, except for Elon. No fraud, but waste. Guys, waste isn't things, fraud and waste doesn't mean things that you disagree with. If you disagree with some of the ways we spent money, that's not waste. That's not fraud. Waste would be like, yeah, we have 12 people doing the job that like one piece of AI software could do. that might be waste. Or saying like we're spending $4,000 a month on coffee and we're just throwing it away. That might be waste. But because you disagree with certain things that we paid for, it doesn't mean it's waste. Sorry. Hello? Yellow? Dono? Okay. Oh my gosh. Bookish, thank you so much for the gifted. $8 million a day to Elon Musk. Again, if that was done appropriately, as much as I fucking hate it, it's not waste, it's not fraud. It might be a little bit of abuse because considering the power Elon has now over his own budget, yeah. But that's not been part of it. Hello?
Yes.
Hello,
Wait, did you just say that? Oh, yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Yes, I am.
Okay, what were you going to say?
Did you say that Elon Musk is, or the Doge, not Doge, sorry, the SpaceX contracts are somehow wasteful?
No, I would say that's maybe a little bit of, I would say, corruption. Maybe a little bit of corruption. So, like, if you think Elon's going to be looking over his own SpaceX contracts or the $8 million that we give him every day and try to figure out where we can give himself less money, I can bet you all of the money in the world, he's not doing that. He's not going to do it. Sorry.
Well, sure, but those contracts existed before he became part of Doge.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. There's just a conflict of interest there. That would be the only thing I would say, besides the conflict of interest of Musk doing away with USAID without actually doing any sort of investigation or any sort of forensic accounting. He basically cut them weeks in and didn't even have a plan to make sure that like top secret information wasn't taken home in personal computers and files. It was done away with probably because of his personal needs or political wants, not because it was waste, fraud, or abuse. Same thing with the.
Well, I'd say maybe political wants. But that's like, that's the only way. If you have common sense, that's the only way we start to put a dent in our federal debt is to start destroying spending, especially programs like USAID that are absolutely unnecessary.
Okay, so what do you think we spend as a country? Like every year in taxes, it's like $5.5 trillion
on average.
It's $5.5 trillion.
No, not
and USAID is $8 billion a year. It's literally
our budget is not 5.5.
He's going
our
after the
budget's
smallest.
Not 5.5 trillion annually.
That's how much tax dollars. That's how much tax revenue we get each year. That is literally the smallest.
Sure, but,
least effective thing to cut.
That's 1 year.
That is
like
probably
over the last 10 years. Over the last 10 years, revenue has not been even close to that on average.
You're saying the government's revenue has not been close to 5.5 trillion?
I'm sorry, I'm getting breaking up. Let me jump on in a minute. Sorry.
You have to leave.
I have a bad signal, I think. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying that's not even close to our average revenue over 10 years. So we have seen more revenue, especially since the tariffs. The tariffs have brought in tremendous
It's about
revenue.
$5 trillion in revenue each year. So what are you alluding to?
On our federal taxes? No, it's not even close to that.
I literally, bro, it's right here. 4.92.
I'm pulling it up right now. Right, but that's the last year.
Okay, what are you going off of?
I said the last 10 years on average.
I don't know how that's relevant to what I'm talking about. I'm saying if you're starting to cut government spending, hold on. Elon Musk cut an entire department, probably one of the most effective, important departments we have as a government on the world stage, and it's going to cost us more than the $8 billion he saved us, because those are all the forms of soft power we have on the world stage. So all of the influence that we have to teach the world to look to us, to look to the West rather than to look at China or Russia as a developing nation, that's gone now, and we're going to be going to war with them soon. It's going to cost us way more than $8 billion. Plus, their children are going to starve and die now too. So,
go to war with who?
I'm sorry.
Wait, who are we going to war with? And by the way, our soft power that you think we had. Well, first of all, we didn't have soft power through USAID because although we may have been giving countries a lot of money, they were all making deals like BRICS, like the BRICS nations, against us. And we've bled out our hegemony over the last 15 to 20 years. We've lost standing. The value of the dollar's dropped. I mean, across the board, America's
it's not
just
really
been in
relevant to
decline
USAID,
for most of my lifetime.
I don't think that's.
It is relevant.
To
Yes,
USAID.
all of it is.
Can you connect the dots there?
Wait, you're justifying. Yeah, you're justifying giving countries money so we can hold soft power, which was declining throughout all of my lifetime, despite us giving more and more of our national treasure to these countries and making commitments, which, by the way, the savings are cumulative, right? So you might save a certain amount one year, but the unfunded liabilities and obligations of our federal government are tremendous. Tremendous. Yeah. And we finally have somebody who addresses that, and you're arguing that that's like bleeding us of our soft power. So,
yeah,
Uganda's not going to like us anymore. Screw Uganda, dude. I would step on their neck.
Trump is still
it's a better country here.
Trump is still spending more money as a government. He's spent $120 billion more as president over the first 3 months of his presidency. So we haven't started saving any money yet, but we have started letting people starve and die.
How did he spend it?
I don't know. I don't know.
How? He's been cutting programs.
Hey, don't argue. Don't argue with me. He did it.
You guys made the first term.
Don't argue with me. He did it.
This is the same argument you made with the first.
Hey, don't be mad at me, dude. He's the one who did it. I'm losing you now.
He did legislation that committed us to spending $8 trillion. Donald Trump did not commit to that legislation. That was Obama. That's things like Obamacare and all of these other deals we made through the past 5 presidencies that have committed us to tons of debt.
That's a lie.
This is the problem. Is that, yes, Trump, by not stopping those organizations and those deals and that legislation like Obamacare, by not cutting it, yes, maybe he let it go further, but he did not pass legislation that committed that.
Trump absolutely did approve $8.4 trillion in new legislation, in new debt. That is his new debt approved with his signature. That is absolutely false what you just said.
What debt? What debt did he approve?
I don't know, $2.2 trillion to the military. You're just listing random things.
That's regular spending. Spending.
No, this is an additional.
That's our year-to-year spending.
That is wrong. You're lying.
No, I'm not. That's our regular spending.
No, it was a new bill, dude. It was not. You're talking about. You're just making that up, dude.
I'm not. Look at our portion of budget for the military spending.
So, Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, $1.9 trillion. Bipartisan Budgets Act, that's what I'm talking about. $2.1 trillion. That was towards the military. ACA tax and delays repeal, $539 billion. He signed every one of these. Health and executive actions, $456 billion. Other legislation, $310 billion. New and increased tariffs, he's brought in $443 billion. The CARES Act, 1.9. Response and Relief Act, 9.8. The other COVID relief, $756 billion. There you go, $8.4 trillion net 10-year approved.
Spending,
he did that.
That's regular spending.
No, you're talking about congressionally approved funds. This is him passing bills. This is him passing bills, legislation. You're not talking about the yearly. We're not talking about
signing CRs. Signing CRs is not new legislation, and that's not Trump's policy.
These are not continuing resolutions. These are not. None of these are continuing resolutions, bro.
There was no Trump program that committed trillions of dollars to anything.
That's actually, you're literally lying. The Bipartisan Budgets Acts of 2018 and 19 is new money introduced into the military.
the Bipartisan Budget Act is Trump's policy?
Yes.
No, that's regular spending, dude. That's just a new spending bill.
Where's
from
Biden's
Congress.
Where's Biden's version of that? Where's Biden's?
What do you mean? Where's Biden's?
Where's bipartisan budgets for Biden's?
Because, dude, what are you talking about?
Here's
Under
Biden's
Biden,
section.
we spent the same amount of money.
Biden only spent 4.3. How did he not get to 8 trillion?
Because we didn't have the same commitments under Biden that we had under Trump.
You're just talking about bills that already were passed, prior commitments. These are new bills, new pieces of legislation passed through Congress that Trump put his signature on and approved debt for.
Yes, and Trump also cut programs. So, of course, spending will go down after those cuts take effect. I mean, most liberals won't even argue this. They'll argue that the tax cuts cost us money, but they didn't because we brought in more revenue.
That's not true either.
That is true. You literally just said we brought in $4 trillion, which is a record revenue.
We brought in $4 trillion? I'm
Because of
talking
taxes.
about $443 billion in tariffs.
Dude,
which is
the
nothing.
tax cuts is what the Democrats argue. Tax cuts, they say Trump's tax cuts cost us trillions of dollars, but we brought in record revenue because of the tax cuts.
No, we
Because
brought in
more
record
people
revenue because
went
of
out starting
inflation.
to
We had
spend money.
inflation, so we had record revenue. That's what we brought in money from.
Dude, so cut taxes. What was inflation at its highest?
In 2022 and 2023. And that's when we had record revenues.
Yeah. No, we're still having record revenue. What are you talking about?
We still have the
You just
inflation that
said
happened.
last year was 4.4 trillion. Oh, okay. So what was the inflation rate?
During what year?
Oh, no, pick a year. Last year.
I don't know. We averaged around 3.0.
Right. So if you compare that to the $4.7 trillion of revenue prior to a 2.18, that's way more than a few percentile points of inflation.
I don't know where you're getting at, bro. I'm saying, all in all, Trump approved
the
more
very
debt
data
than
you were
Biden.
showing earlier.
Trump approved more debt on his desk with his signature than Biden did.
No, he didn't.
I don't know what to tell you. You are giving like non-critical thinking. I don't know what
No,
else to
you're
tell you,
arguing
man.
because he signed off on budget bills, right?
No,
That-
these
that
are not
he
just
approved more debt.
these are not continuing resolutions, bro. These are new
What
new
Trump
things.
policy- What Trump policy, right? Something Trump advocated for brought us more spending.
The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. We literally fired
No,
customers. It is called
It
deficit
did.
spending.
He just said it brought in more revenue.
It did not bring in any revenue.
It did. It brought
no,
in record
we-
revenue. We
I know,
just
I know
looked
you.
at it.
I know you guys like to point to revenue increases during 2023 and 2022, brought to us by
And now,
things like
2024,
COVID, inflation.
2025,
But
we're
we
still-
have
we're still
we
having
have
record
we have
revenue.
we have big boy economists actually doing data analysis on this, 10-year studies that show that his increase in GDP from those tax bills is about 0.4 to 1%. What's 1% of 27 trillion, my friend?
The total tax cumulative revenue by year, we can look at it, starting with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, has gone up tremendously every year.
Yeah, no, that's not true.
So how can you sit there and lie and say it cost us money? It didn't. You're arguing that money that the government has no claim to, that's out in the ether somewhere. Your
The
argument's
GDP
the
grows with
money
or
out in the
without Trump's
ether
tax
somewhere.
cuts every year, right?
The growth was not double. We didn't have double GDP. We did not double our GDP. Don't be so dishonest.
You're being dishonest. So the
No, am I?
GDP.
You're saying because
hold on.
GDP grew,
The
that we got more
GDP
revenue?
the GDP grows with or without tax cuts every year. So what you're saying is you're going to
grew by
give Trump credit for
2%.
you're going to give Trump credit for every single bit of growth of GDP after Trump passed tax cuts heavily skewed towards the rich.
No, I'm saying only an idiot would look at the tax revenue and say, oh, it went up because GDP went up by 1%. It doubled, but GDP
No.
went up 1%.
We
Oh,
actually
okay.
have analysis. We have analysis of this.
What analysis? What analysis shows that
There's
GDP
one from Brookings.
going up a few percentile points causes revenue to double?
It's an
How would
analysis.
that cause revenue to double?
Okay, it's called an analysis from Brookings.edu.
Okay, what is it called? Let's see what kind of spin they.
Brookings.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the Brookings Institute. What about them?
Yeah, so they did a full analysis on this, and they said that the GDP only increased by 0.4%.
The GDP increased by 0.4%?
Yes.
What year?
All 10 years.
That means nothing. What year? What year are they talking about?
10 years.
All
total.
10 years?
10 years total, yes.
That's your argument?
Yes.
So GDP only went up by 0.4%, but tax revenue doubled in that time frame. And yet you're arguing that's not because of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act?
No.
We bring more money back into the economy, and that's not giving us extra revenue?
No,
We
because
give businesses a break.
because when we give businesses a lot of money, it doesn't mean that they create jobs or create extra opportunities in markets.
It does. In fact, the Cato Institute has a great study on this, that tax breaks do create extra revenue for employees, does create better supply
I know,
chain
but
systems.
the Cato Institute is right-leaning.
Oh, and the Brookings Institute, you trust them, but you don't trust the Cato Institute.
No, Cato Institute is libertarian. They literally just say it.
They just say it? You don't care about the methodology? You just want to say they say it?
No, I
literally
I can go through this exercise with you if you want, but tell me, when a company gets a tax break, you're gonna have to calm down, man. I have a hard time taking turns speaking with you. Have you ever owned a company?
It's just breaking up. I'm sorry.
Have you ever owned a company?
Are you against that methodology?
Have you ever owned a company?
Yeah, I have a company. What about it?
What kind of company do you own?
Yes, I have one right now. What are you talking about?
What kind of company do you own?
It's a sales company.
What do you sell?
We sell metals, like rare metals and minerals.
So you have an accountant too?
Third party seller.
You have an accountant?
Yes.
Okay. So when you have your taxes at the end of the year,
great example. We got 20,000 back. Yeah.
When you do your accounting,
I got
at the end of the year,
20,000 back last year, right? So what did we do? Yeah.
If you're gonna say you took your profits after you paid taxes and then you made jobs, I'm gonna call you a very bad business person, because you could have made jobs and then paid less taxes.
No, I'm saying that when I got tax break, right? When I got $20,000 back, which is what we got back because we filed for 2 years, and one of those years was 2019 because we filed as a C Corp on accident, but that doesn't matter. What I did with that money was I went out and hired a new web designer, right?
Okay.
I paid into other businesses
and guess
with that
what?
extra money.
And guess what?
Got them tax revenue.
That web
and created
designer,
new jobs.
that web designer went against your tax liability this year, didn't it?
Yes, but there's only a certain amount that I can write off, right?
Thank you.
And what I'm
No,
paying
it's
them is
100%.
way more than what I write off.
100% of what you
What I'm
paid
paying
that
them
web designer is
what I'm paying
write
them
off.
is way more.
100% of what you paid that web designer
No,
is a
it's
write
not,
off.
because I only get a discount. It's not. If you own a business, you know you only get a discount for that. You don't get to claim over a certain amount of write-offs each year.
No, it's literally just, it goes against your tax liability.
That
It is
person
less
made
profit
money.
for you.
No, that person made money. It's not. I mean, you can claim it's less profit, right? But you only have a certain amount you can write off.
And that's not
and
true.
you have to be able to show
You
it.
could
It's
you can
not
literally
like
write
this
off.
nebulous thing.
You can make your
No, you
profits.
can't.
You can make your profits $0, and 100% of, if you designed 100
You have to be
websites
able to say
and your profit would have been $0, what would your tax liability be, Bub? What would your tax
What I said
liability
was I
be if you
paid-
did that?
Well, nobody can show $0, right? Unless they take an actual
But
loss.
you
because
understand what I'm
no matter
saying?
what you think is happening. Yeah, I understand. Like
You're
liberals
running
think
from this.
that everybody's skirting the system. Yeah,
You're
but that's
running
not
from
how
this.
it works.
It is
I'm
how
not.
it works.
I'm
I
saying
have ran
anybody who has a
businesses too.
business knows
Hey, you're talking to a bookkeeper
can't
of
just
multiple
claim-
years.
You can't just claim that you took a loss year after year.
I'm
Even
not
the
saying you
biggest
can.
corporations, when they take losses, right? That's what I'm saying, is that if you take money that you get back from taxes and you go spend it, which is what businesses do, whether it's a write-off or not, they are supercharging the economy. That money is not stagnating.
Tell me one job that you would make as a business owner.
Money just stagnates.
Dude, you got to stop when I'm talking. Tell me one job that you could create as a business owner that is not already a tax write-off. Go ahead. Tell me one job that you could create. Go ahead.
I am paid labor contractors. What are you talking about?
Those are
Anything
tax
I want to do, I
tax,
can do.
Those
But
go
it still has
against
to be
your tax
accounted
liability.
for properly. And at the end of the day, that's how our economy runs.
Can you tell me
This is
again?
how our economy runs.
Can you tell me one operating
It
expense?
doesn't matter. If I buy something, right, a product, a service, those people pay taxes on the money I spend.
You're running from this, little white prizzle. Tell me
Those
one
people are
type of
spending
job.
money on the money I spend.
Tell me one type of job that goes
I'm not.
that
Those
does not.
people-
Dude, tell me one type of job that doesn't go against your tax liability as a business owner. Tell me one type of job that you could create that already doesn't reduce your tax liability. Go ahead.
That means nothing. I don't even understand that question.
Because you're
dude.
saying tax
Are you
breaks
saying
create
that
jobs,
because
and
I
I'm just
hire
proving you
people
wrong with
that
one question.
It's just a write-off
It's
on every one of them?
Every single
and
one of them.
Nobody pays taxes on
Every
that?
single one of them. If you want to create a job, guess
No,
what? The
because
government.
those people I hire, they pay federal income tax, and that money, no.
Yeah,
That money,
dude, I'm so
again,
sorry this is happening to
being
you.
paid to people who are going to pay federal income tax.
I don't know if you understand what I'm asking you.
What's
that scares
happening?
me.
You're trying to argue. No, I don't. It makes no sense. You're trying to say that like everything is just a write-off, that
Yes.
that nobody pays taxes
Every
on
single
anything,
job that
like
you would
every business in America is just skirting
Every-
taxes.
No, I'm saying that yes, you bought into this whole thing that tax breaks equal people creating jobs, and I'm telling you in one sentence how that's dumb, and that somehow you believe this for however long.
Oh, you think it's dumb, the idea that having extra money that's not going to the federal government that you can use to pay other people who then pay income tax, who then also buy products, that's somehow
All
dumb
tax
while the
write-offs.
federal government,
All operating
money on the
costs.
federal level does stagnate.
All tax
Money
write-offs.
at the
all
supply
operating
chain level
costs.
does not stagnate. That's the
All
difference.
Supply, all of
You
those things
understand
are.
one is stagnant, while the other's not.
I don't know if you understand what you're saying. You still can't name me one
You
thing.
need to argue against actual methodology.
Tell me one thing that a tax
I
write-off can buy
named
you
multiple things.
that's not already a tax that's tax reducible. Go ahead and tell me one thing as a business owner that allows you that you would take
Yes.
from your tax
More
savings.
employees.
Okay, that's already a thing that's tax reducible. Try again.
It's only tax reducible at my level. It's not on their level.
It's tax reducible on
so
every
they're
level.
paying taxes. Everybody
Every
pays
single level.
taxes. No, it's not.
Tell me
That's
a level
not
what
true.
it's not.
Dude, do you think there's a zero net of taxes on tax breaks? No. Every study shows the opposite, and you won't even tell me what you think's wrong with their methodology.
I literally am explaining to you the logic you're employing and how it makes no sense.
The logic is very simple. If I have extra money and I spend it on employees, they pay taxes on that money. I pay taxes of payroll. And on top of that, those people go out and spend money that I've paid them now, and that money doesn't stagnate, and it goes back into the economy.
Love that.
And
That's
all
already
the
tax
data shows
reducible.
This is true.
Yeah, that's already tax reducible though. That's not
It's
something you can do
It's
now
not
that
a
you
zero
save tax money.
net. It's
Yes.
not, there may be a slight reduction, but
No, it's
not
100%
zero net.
reducible.
You're arguing that zero net. It's not.
Okay, if you're let me do this.
pay
Let me do
30%
an exercise with
income
you,
tax.
White Prizzle. Let me do an exercise with you. If you have $100,000
How
in
much do
profit,
individual employees pay?
dude, you gotta calm down. If you have $100,000 in profit and you decide to hire an employee for $50,000, what's your taxable profit? What's your taxable liability after that?
It's not about the taxable liability. It's about money stagnating and money going back into the economy. It's really
Just admit
simple.
it. Just admit
Because
it. You don't
that
know what to
dollar-
say.
No, it's very
Come on, man.
simple. No, I do. I don't think you understand basic math and economics. It's quite.
I'm literally a
it's
bookkeeper
quite
of
evident
multiple years.
that you were public school. Well, it's quite evident that you are probably a DEI bookkeeper. I'm guessing your sexual provocations gave you a little leeway in school or
I'm
something
straight,
that gave
but
you
nice
a
jab.
pathway to
I
quick
get you.
graduation. But apparently, they didn't actually teach you anything They didn't teach you anything, because if you understood basic economics, you would understand that stagnant money is the problem, not circulating money. And circulating money gets taxed like 88% on the dollar.
Hey, you're crashing out. I don't know what kind of jab that was towards the LGBTQ community, but I am straight.
Crash out? How?
I don't know, but I'm straight. I'm a white man. I don't benefit from any sort of DEI hiring practices. Whew. I'm gonna guess he's running, guys. I'm gonna guess he's running. Yeah, he ran. Does anybody else have any input as to how that guy thinks less tax liabilities equal more jobs? Because that's not a thing. I still say that you are silly if you think that. I'm a DEIA hire, guys. And he's talking about stagnant money. Literally, tax breaks for corporations create stagnant pockets of money. When you create a place for people to not have that money flow back into economy, aka untaxable money, it just sit there. They hoard the wealth. It literally creates diamonds. It just sits there. And they do stock buybacks. They circle jerk with their money. It doesn't do anything for the economy. That's what this guy's advocating for, which is literally stagnant money.
Oh, I don't want the vibe.
Yellow.
No.
Accident. Okay. Reaganomics. Guys, my mom is here, and I want to hang out and say hi to my mom. So I love you guys. I'm gonna see you guys soon. I hope you guys have a wonderful Saturday night. Thank you guys so much for all the love. Y'all be good. I will see y'all soon, chat. Bye.